him out, and the New York Mets have won the series.
Beating the Dodgers 3-2, a comeback win in L.A. on TBS to set up a showdown with the Cubs for the National League Championship. The AL Series starts tonight, the Royals versus the Blue Jays in Kansas City. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Cloudy skies, 46 degrees. It is a chilly start to your Friday morning. 5:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. Cubs will take on the Mets in the NLCS. New York advances by defeating the Dodgers last night 3-2 in that decisive Game 5. The Mets will host the Cubs in the opener of the NLCS Saturday night. 2 Chicago police officers this morning are being relieved of their police powers. Authorities are determining if they were involved in the sex trafficking of a young girl. The Tribune reporting both have been reassigned to paid desk duty. Former Chicago Public Schools CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett could be facing more legal issues as the Detroit Public Schools confirmed that her work in that district is under investigation. She served as Chief Academic and Accountability Officer from 2009 to 2011. During her time, she was involved in awarding more than $3 million to companies owned by Gary Solomon and Thomas Vranis. Both are accused in arranging a bribery and kickback scheme with Byrd Bennett during her time here in Chicago. Celebration yesterday at O'Hare with the completion of a new runway and the topping off of a new tower. Mayor Emanuel believes upgrades like these benefit the city and the nation as a whole.
This modernization of O'Hare, the modernization of Midway, continues to allow Chicago to be at the center of a global economy. The
airstrip and tower, part of a $9 billion overhaul of the airport. Former House Speaker Dennis Hastert planning to plead guilty in a hush money case. His lawyers telling a federal judge yesterday that a plea deal has been worked out. The indictment claims he lied to the FBI about millions of dollars worth of payments made to cover up past misconduct during his time as a high school teacher and wrestling coach in Yorkville. Cook County Circuit Clerk Dorothy Brown in hot water after a federal investigation of her husband has expanded to include her. Sun-Times say agents have seized Brown's cell phone and subpoenaed some of her employees in their probe of Benton Cook and his handling of state anti-violence grants. Chicago sports. Washington beat the punchless Blackhawks 4-1 last night. Cubs shortstop Addison Russell will not play in the National League Championship Series because of a bad left hamstring. John Lester will get the start on Sunday. Thursday night, NFL. Drew Brees threw for 300 yards as the Saints downed the Falcons 31-21. The news service of the Lake Forest Graduate School of Management, who teaches Chicago's most relevant MBA. Professors who develop theories or business pros who deliver results. Lake Forest Graduate School of Management, Chicago's only MBA with a faculty of 100% business leaders. Visit lakeforestmba.edu/leader. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The FICO score is not really even a good indication that you pay your debts back.
Dave Ramsey.
What it's an indication of is, do you love debt? And are you planning on staying in debt continually, forever? If you're running around trying to build your FICO score and you call that winning with money, you're stupid. Was I unclear? I hope not. Because you're not winning with money. That's the point.
It's the Dave Ramsey Show, tonight at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Sam Gilberto, president of American Embroidery and Screen Printing and American Marketing Products. We specialize in putting your logo on just about anything. Our focus is entirely on you, our customer. We want every customer experience to be outstanding. American Embroidery and Screen Printing is a brick-and-mortar business located in Glendale Heights. Our equipment and manufacturing processes are state-of-the-art, so are the people who work here. With over 40 years' experience, we have the capability, capacity, and know-how to get your job done right and on time. I want to earn your business, so for a limited time, we're offering free artwork on embroidery and screen printing orders for all new customers. Let us help you gear up for that big trade show, provide shirts or jackets for all your employees, students, or church members, or simply provide you with giveaway items such as coffee mugs, pens, or hats. Whatever it is, you can trust an American to take care of it. It's easy to contact us, trustinamerican.com. That's trustinamerican.com, or call at 630-766-2825.
5:06 this morning. Time to check the climate of your business with Air Comfort, and time to check the roads in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good Friday morning, Mike. Things look pretty good on the expressways and tollways. There was a lot of overnight road construction. Most of that is now gone. There's still work on 390 westbound Elgin O'Hare from Meacham to Roselle Road in the left lane, and also from Irving Park to Lake Street in the left lane. The other expressways and tollways look great. There is a crash in Bensonville, westbound Thorndale at York, an earlier rollover, and crews remain at the scene. There is some major work scheduled this weekend at the Burns Circle in downtown Chicago. Keep you posted on that here on AM 560. Traffic is a service of Nicola by LaCroix. Traffic by Nicola. If you trust LaCroix, Nicola is for you. A safe and innocent cola-flavored sparkling water named Nicola. 0 calorie, 0 sweetener, and 0 sodium. Totally innocent. Cola-flavored sparkling water from LaCroix. Available at Jewel. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solutions provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Freeze warning in effect from 11 p.m. this evening until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Breezy with partial sunshine today, high of 52. Patchy clouds tonight with a low 31. Sunshine tomorrow, but chilly with a high 49 and a low tomorrow night of 34. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
45 O'Hare, 50 along the lakefront. Good morning, Aurora. It's 38. Your next news update at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
Good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Today, President Obama did an about-face on his previous pledge to bring home all but an embassy security force by the end of next year. Instead, he announced there will be at least 5,500 American troops in Afghanistan into 2017, beyond the end of his term in office.
I've decided to maintain our current posture of 9,800 troops in Afghanistan through most of next year, 2016.
Lawyers for Dennis Hastert told a federal judge in Chicago today that he has agreed to change his plea to guilty. The former speaker, now 73, was accused of evading federal banking rules and making payments of nearly $2 million in hush money to cover up past misconduct. He was also charged with lying to the FBI about it.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Meet the Mets, meet the Mets, step right up and greet the Mets.
Okay, so people were wondering if the Cubs will be flying east or flying west for the first game of the NLCS. And in case you're just waking up with us, we're heading east, my good man.
Oh, Kemosabe? You're a Cub fan?
Amy Jacobson here. Bruce Wolf sitting in for Dan Proft. You know, I expected you to be standing outside loitering when I pulled up this morning at 3:30, and I'm like, "Where's Bruce?
I came here late because you made fun of me that I get here. You know, when I worked at Channel 5 for the short time that I did, you know Dave Breyer?
Yes.
Okay. We're two nervous Jews. One's more nervous than the other one.
Oh,
both
Lord.
the kind of people that go to the airport like 2 days ahead of time, and they say 2 hours. So, the typical sportscaster does it the right way. It's a deadline dash. It's a crash. They're not even ready, even though this whole sportscast is like 20 seconds, they do it 20 seconds ahead of time, which is the way you should do it. Me, I would turn in my leads, my lead-ins, like 3 days ahead of time. Like if I were working today, I would have already come up with 2 separate leads on what the Cubs could be playing, the Dodgers or the Mets. So and Dave is like that too, So I came relatively late this morning because you made fun of me last time I was
it's
here.
Right. And I was a little bit late because when I was leaving for work early this morning, I saw 2 very large, gorgeous coach buses pulling into Wrigley Field with Chicago police escorts. So the players haven't loaded the bus yet to head to the airport, but the buses are in place.
So you live near there?
Oh, I've lived there for 18
How much is
and a
your
half
property
years.
worth?
Well, it has gone up.
How much are you going to be paying in property taxes?
My stock is rising.
Are you one of those who's going to have to pay more in property taxes to subsidize the teachers who should all be fired?
I'm on the bubble.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I live in the double wide on my street. That's what we
So
call
in
it.
other
Because
words,
there's all these big
you're-
McMansions, but there's 2 homes that are A-frames that look like double wide modular homes.
So your home isn't worth $250,000.
Well, we'll see. The land's worth more than that. But anyway, let's talk about the Cubs. This is a big day because you know
Okay.
what?
Yeah.
This is the beginning. This is the driveway to the World Series.
If it's this year, next year, or 100 years from now, it doesn't matter because Cubs are number 1.
We're going to the World Series, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it.
And then the guy's eyeballs popped down. His head exploded.
It's good. I love hearing these short-suffering Cub fans.
Why?
Yeah, because
no, this is the year.
Yeah, but they're short-suffering. They haven't been around. These people don't even remember the how we all died a little bit when they lost to the Mets in '69. Although I'm not a Cub fan. So.
Yeah, but you remember that. So what happened in '69? Because I was just a wee child. I was just a.
You weren't even born. No,
I wasn't
No.
born.
You
No,
were
I
in
was
utero.
in my I
Yeah.
was in the third
Yeah.
gestation period in my mother's belly. Second gestation period, a man landed on the moon. The third one,
sure,
they were the push for the pennant for the Cubs in '69. So what happened with the Mets? Because so many people that we've had on
There's
the
a
show.
black cat.
Wait, here, let me tell you this. So many
Okay.
people that we've had on the show, and we're gonna have another guy, Al Yellen,
Oh, I know
managing editor of BleedCubbyBlue.com.
he used to be a director at Channel 7.
Yeah. But he still, you could tell
Oh, yeah.
the disdain in his voice
Yeah.
when you talk about the '69 Cubs. He's like, yeah, well,
Let me tell
we
you a
want
story
a
about
rematch.
Ron Santo was on the '69 Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in 1988 or '89, it was a golf outing. I was working for Channel 32 at the time, and we did a remote with Ron Santo. It's '88 or '89. It's like 20 years later, and I made a joke about the '69 Cubs. He was ready to kill me.
You
It was
don't-
20 years. Get over it, Ronnie.
No, he doesn't.
So
All right, so
people-
what happened?
yeah.
Is that the Black Cat year?
The Black Cat walked by Randy Hundley in Shea Stadium,
I want to
and look, they collapsed. And I laughed my head off because I was a White Sox fan.
So the cat, did the cat go on the field
Cat was on the field near the on-deck circle
during the game?
during the game. Yeah.
So
The
somebody
black
snuck
cat.
a black cat into Wrigley Field.
I know the cat just was there.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
a denizen
really.
of Shea Stadium.
Mhm.
But
There's
the Cubs were-
cougars.
the
There's
Cubs-
cougars around Wrigley now, not stray black cats. Heyo.
You used to be one of the cougars around Wrigley Field. weren't you?
Hey.
Wait, you're not that old.
No, I'm
Yeah.
still a cougar. I'm not a puma yet, Bruce. Excuse me.
Oh,
I
you're
just
still a
told you
cougar.
that. Yes.
Okay. All right.
When
So
I get
anyway-
older, I'll be a puma.
So, no, it was, there are natural explanations. I believe in the supernatural, of course, the black cats and all that. But there are natural explanations for it. Leo DeRocher, the manager at the time, there was a relief pitcher named Phil Regan who he pitched every day. And the guy's arm fell off.
His arm fell off.
Actually, that was Dave Dravecki's arm that fell off years later. I confuse everybody. But,
Bruce, hurry up. You're boring me.
okay, right, it's over. We're going to win.
No, this is the year. I mean,
I
really.
think it is.
What I was there in,
Yeah.
98?
Mm-hmm. Kerry Wood year.
Yeah, that was great because I went to the playing game, the one
Sure.
do or die game. Michael Jordan threw out the first pitch. I was sitting next to the beer fairy, and I'm not kidding you. This guy had a wad of cash, like beers for everybody in the section. So he was
Really?
pumping me. I mean, I had the IV tap in going, right straight here, man. Fill me up.
I forgot
And,
who the play-in game was against.
It was against San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
So I
okay.
lived a block away. I'm not. The Budweiser house.
How
on
much
Wave-
was your
Excuse
how
me, on
Morgan
Waveland and
Fenn?
Kenmore. Waveland and
Okay.
Kenmore. I lived right
Sure.
there.
Oh,
So I
okay.
stumbled home. They call me. The station. Angie Roseman. Listen to this. Angie Roseman calls me
At Channel 5.
at 8 in the morning.
Right. Okay.
Jacobson, where are you? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not coming in until 2 because I work the night shift.
Sure. Yeah.
She's like, you're going to Atlanta. I'm like, what? She's like, your flight leaves in 45 minutes. I'm like, holy bleep.
Yeah.
I can do this, Angie. I know a great cab driver. I don't even know what I packed. And I just grabbed my purse, got in a cab, and I looked at I'll give you $100 if you get me to O'Hare Airport in 20 minutes. And he took side roads that I've never taken before in my life. I got there. I walked in. I sat down. It was because it was on Delta we took, and it was the first.
Delta's ready when you are.
Oh, and they were ready. The door was open. Everybody was boarded. Beautiful plane, and it was at the first gate, so I didn't have to go all the way down in Terminal 2. Back then, they were in
Now,
Terminal 2.
this is an interesting story.
I walked
what
in.
happened to the Cubs in '69, not interesting, but how you got to O'Hare in '98, that's fascinating.
Walked in. I looked at Amy Stone. Remember Amy?
I used to work with Amy.
Yeah,
on
and
the
I looked
radio.
at her and I'm like, hey, I made it, okay? And I was just sweating, and Dave, it was great.
Who looked
so
more
we made it.
bedraggled, you or Amy Stone?
Oh, me, of course. So that was that. And then in 2003, I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
I was there. I was at the Bartman
They
game.
gave up 8 runs in the 8th inning.
I laughed my head off.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Oh, I'm the Doctor of Doom. You think Dan Proft is bad? I'm worse.
You've got to accept the Cubs.
I hope they win because I want
What
I
did
want
you
the
say?
fans. I
hope that they win.
I want the fans to finally get it over with already.
Really?
Win. Yeah.
But do we have a better chance against the Mets, or
Doesn't matter.
would we have had
I think the Cubs are
better
great.
chance
I
against
think
the
they're
Dodgers?
a really good team.
We're hot right now. I mean, look at
Well,
Kyle
here's it.
Schwarber, huh? Get a load of this.
And Schwarber sends one high and deep, way back. And this ball is long gone. Mercy. What in the world?
You know what they did with that ball? You know, the ball's up there on the Budweiser sign and everything like that, and they encased it, and they also have put the remains of Gabby Hartnett up there, which is very nice. They should. Because he had the home run with Loman years ago.
But it's
Harry.
just too bad. I mean, Harry Carey's gone.
Yeah.
Ron Santos.
Right, they're all gone.
Ron Say, the Penguin.
You know Bob Surratt?
Yes,
He
I
wrote
remember.
a piece for the Tribune yesterday. You know, he's trying to keep his career alive. He's on Periscope now.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway.
Okay, that is rude. You should support your.
I love Bob Surratt. Okay, here's the thing. He wrote about, you know, all the guys in heaven watching the Cubs, Harry and Jack. It's a fun piece. Go to Tribune.com, see it. But see, I want to think that Harry has moved beyond that. Because, you know, Harry was an orphan. So
yeah,
I think
and
he was
from St. Louis, from Webster Groves,
right.
actually. Missouri.
Is that anywhere near Chesterfield? Anyway, where my sister lives.
It's a suburb of Kirkwood.
How do you get
Come
from
on.
Chesterfield to, you know,
Try me.
Lindbergh Airport in 45
take
minutes?
270.
Okay, little side roads there.
There you go.
Not through Ferguson. You don't want to go through Ferguson. Okay, hands up, I surrender on how to get.
Hands
okay.
up, don't you?
So, but I want to think that Harry's moved beyond that. That he's been reunited with his parents.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't need baseball anymore.
We all
But
need baseball. And
I
then
guess so.
people that are elderly that have been fans for life, they need to take their blood pressure medicine.
I took my extra blood pressure medicine this morning and I am fine.
How long have these tickets been in your family?
55 years.
They're finally worth something.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
So we play.
She's only been a fan since 1960. You know, what about the 1950s Cubs?
Yeah.
What about the 50s Cubs? You know, they finished in 7th out of 8 teams year after year after year.
All right, so
earning-
we take on the
yeah.
New York Mets.
Uh-huh.
We play, is it Shea Stadium?
It's City Field.
All right, so
My
they
son lives about a block and a half from there.
they knocked down Shea Stadium and they've erected City Field.
They're in City Field, which is near the tennis center there where they had the U.S. Open.
All right,
It's in
so
Queens.
We
Yeah,
play
Forest Hills.
Saturday and Sunday, 7
Right.
o'clock games, our time, Central
Right.
Time.
Yeah.
Then we come back here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Right. I don't know.
Times are TBA. I'm
Yeah.
hearing rumblings Wednesday's going to be a 3 o'clock start or 3:30 start.
Which is good because then they will be playing in the shadows of in the middle innings.
Oh.
And the batters won't be able to see that. I don't know who'll be starting Wednesday. That'll be the 4th Cub pitcher.
Yes.
I've got some issues with Joe Madden. I know he's a
I know.
genius. He's a saint.
Why is he starting John Lester in game one?
Arrieta is your star. He's going to be out of his routine. And now Lester, because you know why? Because he makes $26 million a year and he screwed the pooch this year. Guy can't even throw to first base.
Okay, our phrase of the day, screwed the pooch.
Holy cow!
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, the latest on the G.I. Joe Fox Lake police officer death
They
investigation.
solved that, didn't they?
No.
It was like 6 weeks ago we were talking about that.
But first, here's your weather forecast.
Today, it's going to be partly sunny, breezy, and cooler, a high of 52. Tonight, patchy clouds and cold. There will be a freeze, low of 31. Tomorrow, sunshine, but chilly, high of 49. There goes my golf game. Low tomorrow night, 34. Sunday, partly cloudy and warmer, high of 58. Low Sunday night, 45. Monday, mostly sunny, windy, and warmer, high of 70. Tuesday, when the Cubs play, breezy and warm with times of cloud and sun, high of 72. Low Tuesday night of 54. Now for check of traffic, here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Bruce. Good morning. Good morning, Amy. I-55 southbound at 53. There's a crash, debris all over the place. Crews are cleaning up. There is one lane open, but there are delays from 355 to 53. And northbound, it's getting a little heavy approaching 53 with gapers. West Chicago, crash at 59 in Main Street. 390 westbound Elgin O'Hare. There's still some morning road work in place between Meacham and Lake Street. In pockets there, the left lane is closed. Inbound Ryan getting just a little heavy now approaching downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com, Traffic Center.
For missing teeth, dental implants are wonderful. The advantages are fantastic. They really are just like your original ones. What you probably don't know is that not all implants are the same quality, and there are a lot of unqualified people doing implants.
This is Brian DeWolf. I have 2 implants from Fox River Periodontics. I had one. I was happy with it, so I had another one done. Wonderful. They're just like your real teeth, and they're probably even better because there's no nerve attached to them, so there's no pain, and they last forever. Dr. Neruzzi is great, and his staff is wonderful, and I trust him completely. If you're looking for dental implants, or considering dental implants for a missing tooth or for a whole mouthful, talk to Dr. Neruzzi. You'll be happy you did, and Fox River Periodontics.
Just remember, implantsforme.com. Implantsforme.com.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants. Go to implantsforme.com.
At the end of a long day, all you want to do is relax. Maybe grab a cold one. And eat something that's not frozen and thrown into a deep fryer. That's why you have Heroes West Sports Grill. If you want to relax, the place feels like home. If you're ready for a cold one, try 37 choices on tap alone. Hunger is a thing of the past, too, with dishes direct from their scratch kitchen. Heroes West Sports Grill in Joliet has mastered the best, just to ensure that your experience is full of happiness. But that's just the beginning. They, like AM 560 The Answer, are huge supporters of your servicemen, women, and first responders. That's why they continue to give back with Warrior Wing Wednesday. You're invited in to enjoy their famous wings at a bargain and have proceeds from your order go towards helping America's real heroes. Heroes West Sports Grill. Casual comfort just like home. Find them online at heroeswest.net. That's heroeswest.net.
I'm Lex, CEO of Balance of Nature. At Balance of Nature, we believe in real communication. Whether you call into the office or hear a success story on the radio, you can be sure it's real, unsolicited, and unscripted conversation.
I had anemia. And that's when I got on to Balance of Nature. Then when I came off it, I got anemia again. That's one of the reasons I got back on it. I said, you know what, let me call them up and let me start doing the right thing. I made a mistake by getting off it. I think this is a good product, and I'm going to just stick with it.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
312-642-5600 is the number. Bruce Wolf, BW, in for DP. I like that. I just
Hi,
made it up.
AJ.
How are you?
You know, AJ Przynski may be coming back.
For what?
That's what's a rumor, to work with Steve Stone on the White Sox games. That's just a rumor. I don't know that.
Would be fun.
Because, you know, Hawk Harrelson, he's like me. He doesn't want to go to Comiskey Park or whatever they call it now. The cell. It's too much of a hassle to get there. So he's just going to do the road games.
You old men are so annoying. Do
Get
you want me to
very
put you in
crotchety.
your home with your Jell-O?
Yeah. Let me out every 6 weeks or so to
Yeah.
do a show with you.
Well, a lot of people have contacted us on our turnkey.pro text line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. Bubba Wolf is back. Tell us what you've been up to, please. That's Steve on 88.
He's making a reference to people like when I talk about Barbara Bird Bennett, because I go, Barbara Bird Bennett. They're like Bing Crosby. And now I understand that Dorothy Brown may be joined. So there should be like Barbara Bird Bennett Brown, because they're all the same, right?
No, they're
Crooks.
not all the same. Yeah, thank you.
Crooks.
So wait, answer the question. What have you been up to?
You care?
Three
I've
people
been
have
improving
texted
my.
in. They're
I've been
saying, good to see here, Dan. What has he been up to? What have you been up to?
I have. I've been playing golf.
All right, how's your golf game?
It's gotten better, but you know, and I'm shooting the mid 80s, but from the white tees.
That's
I need
fine.
about 30 more yards.
That's fine, as long as you're not shooting from the ladies' tees.
Yeah,
It's okay. All right, so you've been playing golf, and what else?
I'm looking for work.
All right.
Not real hard though.
Not actively looking?
Well, yeah.
Passively looking for work?
Passive
But
aggressively.
the passive, yeah, that really works so well sometimes.
Not to get inside baseball and everything on this, but the people who fired me got fired themselves. And they're the guys who ran the company. at WLS. They created the company.
Well, who
they got fired.
John Dickey?
Yeah. He's
Really?
gone. You haven't been following this?
No, I did not know that. Did you know that, Mike Scott? When did this happen?
Hey, Cubs
so
are in
wait,
the
I have
NLCS.
to cancel my lunch date with him?
Yes, you will.
No,
When
I
did
think
that
now's the time to buy John Dickey.
When did that happen?
And Lou's gone too.
Yeah, about 3-4 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What, do you feel some type of vindication then?
Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. Actually liked the guy.
Yeah.
I talked to him and everything but this is, for anybody, this is the honcho. I mean, in Atlanta, I ran like 500 radio
And
stations.
he's not running any radio stations?
Radio's tough. Radio's difficult.
I think John stays with the company, but only in a ceremonial position. He is like the masthead outside the company at the moment. And
Well,
that's
that means they put
about
you.
it.
No, that's, you know what that means? That they put
Lou
you in
or
a
John?
room.
Lou, yeah.
They put you in a room with construction paper and crayons.
Yeah,
that's what they do. That's exactly what.
Which, by the way, is what I've been doing the last 6 weeks.
That's okay.
Construction
Drawing's
paper and
good,
crayons.
they say.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. G.I. Joe, you were here when that happened right before Labor Day weekend.
Now, like, you don't know
a
what
beloved
happened.
Fox Lake police officer allegedly gunned down. I mean, here is his last transmission. First denies the second unit, then the second time is like fine, but says two white males, one black. The Phantom Trio, people started calling them. Not a lot of activity has happened since then. I mean, we know that he was shot with his own department-issued 9mm gun. The bullet that killed him was underneath his vest and went into his heart. Another one was in the back, toward the back of his head. It's a very, very strange case. Nothing
Wait a minute.
Nothing has been solved yet.
There were two bullets?
Yes.
I know there were two bullets, but did the first one actually penetrate the vest?
Yes, right up here. Well, no, you know what? That's the thing. I don't, because we need the autopsy
because if you're
report, and they're
talking-
not releasing the autopsy report.
See, if you're speculating suicide, which, by the way, when we were on like 6 weeks ago, let the record show that we very tastefully asked the questions that needed to be asked at the time. And I don't know anybody else who was doing it at the time. You took the lead on this.
Yeah, people had called me and said there is something not right about this.
But the other TV stations with their herd mentality and everything, they were celebrating the life of G.I. Joe and all that. And they weren't asking the questions because they suck. Anyway, so here's the thing. But it's important to know if it penetrated the vest, because if it did, then it would be hard for him to take the second shot that killed him. So I don't think it penetrated the vest. If it's a suicide.
Well, could have made it look like a homicide.
Well, of course.
Of course, obviously.
Right, yeah.
But his family said that their daddy would never commit suicide.
Right, yeah.
I know my father. My family knows my father, and his closest friends knew him as well. He was not someone who ever contemplated suicide. He never had suicidal tendencies or anything like that.
And what we do know is that there have been thousands of tips. Nothing has panned out. 100 people have had submitted DNA because they found 9 different DNA samples at the crime scene. But those were from first responders who showed up to administer CPR and to try and save his life. One FBI agent is currently still working the case. One. I do know that. And guess how much money they've spent in overtime? Just take
$9?
These are cash-strapped small communities.
Oh, they've
who
spent
have
a
no
lot
money.
of money.
How much money do you think they've spent on
$1
overtime?
million.
No, almost $300,000.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
BrainLab seeks a biomedical engineer to develop strategies for the Oncology Support Organization and help implement new protocols on new and existing products, develop and deliver field service training for support specialists, and coordinate cross-functional teams. Must assist in the field with installation and service of all products in a system environment. Travel 80% to yet unknown locations in Northeast U.S. region. Candidates must possess a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering and 5 years experience in a technical support role, preferably for a healthcare company or provider. Must be proficient proficient in use of Microsoft Office and have demonstrated analytical presentation and documentation skills. Must live within 1 hour of major airport in Northeast region of U.S. and have permanent authorization to work in the U.S. Job location is various client locations in Cook County, Illinois metropolitan areas, as well as other yet unknown client locations in the U.S. Send cover letter and resume to Nazneen Bandakwala, Human Resources, Brain Lab Inc., 3 Westbrook Corporate Center, Suite 400, Westchester, Illinois, 60154.
Fall is here, and now that the kiddies are back at school, it is the perfect time to schedule your appointment with Executive Green Carpet Cleaning. You've heard me rave about Executive Green and their special cleaning process, which includes a safe, non-toxic solution that won't leave any sticky, chalky residue. They use their own purified water, not the water from your faucet. But here's another reason to call Executive Green. Are you ready, Bruce? It's their no-risk guarantee. That's right. Executive Green promises that you won't need to pay if you're not 100% satisfied. And even after 2 months of high traffic with my boys and my 2 precious cats, my carpet still looks newly clean. Honestly, it looks brand new. I love these guys. No more
hairballs and all?
Hairballs, all that, all of the... I was vacuuming every single day. Didn't need to, because Executive Green came, they pre-treated the carpet. They raked out all that fur stuff that I thought I had gotten out with my regular vacuum. Oh, no. Executive Green Carpet Cleaning is the best. Here's what you do. Call their number right now, 708-599-5151. That's 708-599-5151, or schedule online at executivegreencarpetcleaning.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
And coming up next on the show, when will some presidential candidates just call it quits? And why is Bernie Sanders $2 billion richer? Because of one comment? We'll explain. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We have 46 degrees right now, and a young man from Kosovo is under arrest in Malaysia for allegedly hacking U.S. security data to provide targets for ISIS. Malaysian police said last night they believe the man gave information to ISIS terrorists in Syria so they can target more than 1,000 U.S. security officials. Southern California officials this morning say they're struggling to clear a portion of I-5 from mud and debris. It's likely to continue well into this morning, and they're not saying when they expect to reopen that highway from the major mudslide that hit. Jason Campidonia was on scene just a few hours ago and has this report.
Severe flooding and thunderstorms yesterday caused mud and debris to flow down mountain ranges in the northern section of the county, swallowing cars with people trapped inside. Aerial footage shows SUVs and trucks floating in a river of murky water. Several roads were washed out, and the 5 freeway near Fort Tejon had to be completely closed. Rescue crews have been sent to the area from all over the county to help people get out of their cars and see what kind of destruction the storm left in its wake. Jason Campidonia, Los Angeles.
White House spokesman Josh Earnest defending the president's decision to keep a large number of U.S. forces in Afghanistan.
There's important work that needs to be done, both in terms of continuing our counterterrorism operations, continuing to build the capacity of Afghan national security forces.
In his daily briefing, Earnest was pressed about the president's past campaign promises to get the U.S. out of Afghanistan by the end of his tenure. Tensions between Israelis and Palestinians remain high, and they have spilled over into a West Bank town where a site revered by Jews as the tomb of the biblical patriarch Joseph was firebombed. The next Republican presidential debate could have fewer zingers and one-liners as frontrunner Donald Trump and second-place contender Ben Carson are considering a boycott of the CNBC debate.
You know, the Democratic debate, if you look at it, that was 2 hours and it was too long. Everybody was bored at the end. They want to make this much longer than that.
NBC says Trump and Carson both signed a letter demanding a change in the debate's length. Cubs will battle the Mets in the NLCS. New York advancing by defeating the LA Dodgers last night, 3-2. 2 Chicago police officers are being relieved of their police powers while authorities determine if they were involved in the sex trafficking of a young girl. And hundreds of students across the state will not be able to return to school today without those state-mandated medical records. In Peoria alone, around 700 children were pulled out of class and sent home. Notices were also sent home with students who didn't have that required physical exam statewide. School officials say they hope kids bring their paperwork with them this morning. Washington beat the Blackhawks 4-1 Just an updated note on the Cubs. They will not play shortstop Addison Russell in the NLCS because of a bad left hamstring. The news service of Fresh Time and Fresh Time Farmers Market. Healthy food, healthy values. This week, tender asparagus, only $1.27 a pound. Fresh salmon fillets, only $3.97 a pound. Grand opening prices valid at all 7 Chicagoland locations and now in Bucktown, Lincoln Park, Crystal Lake, and Naperville. FreshTime.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
We are raising a country of sissies.
The Joe Walsh Show.
It's scary because these kids are going to be adults one day. Every single day, we move away from freedom and individual responsibility. And every single day we do that, we move closer to a country full of only government dependency.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer is a must-have for all busy parents. With just one scan to the forehead, Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer takes your child's temperature quickly and accurately. Available at Walgreens.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Mike Rowe here. Today I'm with Frank, one of the heating and cooling pros at 1 Hour. Frank's got his head up a vent right now. How's it going up there? Frank knows what he's talking about. He's been with 1 Hour for how long, Frank?
14 years.
That's a long time. Over that time, he's worked on tons of different equipment, taken countless hours of training, and that makes Frank the man.
No, Mark Rose.
I'm sorry, Frank. Say again?
Mike Rose the man.
I heard him the first time. For any heating need, call 855-1 Hour today. Say it again, Frank.
Mike Rose the man.
That's what I'm talking about. Each independent franchise is licensed in its respective state or county.
538 at our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Southbound I-55 has heavy traffic approaching 53 with an earlier crash still blocking the right lane. Northbound, it's a little heavy in that area. And now the inbound Stevenson is a bit heavy past Pulaski as well. Inbound Ryan, traffic is slow. Roosevelt into downtown. Just a 1 or 2 minute delay. I-57 has a 1 minute delay from Halstead to the merge. Bishop Ford. Play started on 115th. 21 minutes, 8094 to the Ryan. Traffic service of RCN Entertainment Redefined. Get award-winning super fast 155 internet and awesome digital TV as low as $55.94 per month. Plus take TV anywhere with RCN to go. It's amazing. RCN Entertainment Redefined. 1-800-RING-RCN or RCN.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Partly sunny, breezy, cooler, high 52. Patchy clouds, cold. There will be a freeze overnight. Low of 31 and 49 tomorrow. 44 at O'Hare, 37 in Aurora. Your next news update is at 6, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Bruce Wolf sitting in for Dan this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour Radio Show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560 The Answer. Brought to you by Pure Shale Financial Group.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560 The Answer.
All right, we're going to get to politics in a few minutes, but Bruce Wolf filling in for Dan Proft today. Thanks so much for coming in.
It's great to be here.
We were talking during the break about our locker room experiences because you used to be a sports reporter, and I would...
And you used to rat tail me with a towel and haze me in the locker room.
Yeah, don't drop the soap. And I used to... Oh, excuse me. I was the fan correspondent. You know, I was out with the people, the salt of the earth,
I did
the
that
true
stuff
diehard
too.
fans.
They didn't trust me to do the real sports reporting.
When we were in Atlanta in 98, Amy Stone, for some reason, got kicked out of the locker room.
From Channel 5.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's like, Jacobson, you got to go on. I can't go on. Something happened. I don't know with the credentials. I don't know what was going on. I didn't ask. I don't get involved in people's personal stuff. I just show up on time, and I'm always enthusiastic. I'll give you 110%.
Totally.
So I had to go in the locker room, and I have been covering murders for most of my life and horrible sex crimes against children. And it just, it's just doom and gloom. And so when you get an assignment to cover something fun, I mean, you just jump at the chance and you're so excited. So I went in with this female photographer, good friend, Suzanne Richter. Love her to death. And she and I, and that back then, players walked around in the buff. And if they knew female reporters and photographers were in there, they flaunted. I mean, they would just hang out with you and you'd
But that's
interview them
harassment.
naked. Well, then harass me some more. I was fine with it.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't that an insult to your modesty?
No, it's okay. But Henry Rodriguez, remember? They'd call him O. Henry and they'd throw him candy bars there in Centerfield. Remember that guy?
Yes.
Well, he just, we had a long conversation while he was in the buff. And I'm like, so where'd you go to kindergarten? Let's start at the beginning.
How long did it take you to talk to Henry Rodriguez? At
they
what point?
actually-
What was the end? The climax of the interview.
This may come as a shocker, but we actually had to get to get kicked out. We were the last ones there, and finally, Sharon Panazzo, I think, was she was working. For
I got
the
a Sharon
Cubs.
Panazzo story. She
said, she's like, okay, guys, Amy, what are you doing? We got to go. Let's go. Everyone, we're
I'm
shutting
not
up the lights.
finished yet.
We're done here.
Yes,
Goodbye. It's
sure.
over. So that was fun. Those were good times. And
a
then,
quick story.
yes.
My wife, in '93, the White Sox were in Toronto, and they did allow women in the clubhouse at that time for some reason. And I got her in there.
What do you mean, for some reason?
We're walking through, and Bo Jackson is sitting there in his jockstrap. And you're talking about Bo Jackson, who was a two-sport star professionally. I mean, there may be no greater athlete of the 20th century. Maybe Jim Thorpe. I mean, Bo Jackson was a great baseball player and a great football player. How many guys could do that? We're talking about Jake Arrieta.
Right?
Jake Arrieta, what does he play? Tiddlywinks on the side?
Hey, Jake Arrieta is a beautiful
He's a wonderful man.
specimen.
He's a stud. So here's the thing.
Heck of a guy.
She sees Bo Jackson.
Yes.
She turns crimson. and it's not out of it's a combination of embarrassment, and it's the greatest thing in the world that she saw Bo Jackson, and our marriage has not been the same since.
Can't stick up.
I can conjugate verbs in French. It doesn't matter to her.
All right, somebody who was in some trouble this morning, Lincoln Chafee. Are you familiar with him?
Yes.
Did you watch the
Yes, I
Democratic
did.
debate?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, Hillary's a demagogic, liar. Bernie Sanders wouldn't know modern-day Denmark. If it hit him in the face, he probably thinks you need to go there to get sex change operations. Did you read the Kevin Williamson piece about in National Review Online about Bernie Sanders? He talks about Denmark as being a haven.
Right.
That's the socialist haven. That's the utopia,
That's who
the
we
model
should
that we should have.
emulate, yeah.
Except, Denmark has a lower corporate tax rate than the United States have. They tax the hell out of the middle class in Denmark. Is that what you
Isn't it
fellow Democrats
52%?
want? It's unbelievable. And, he was talking about the banks because the banks are the evil monsters because there's 6 banks in the United States that have 65% of GDP of the United States. In Denmark, there's one bank that has 1.5 times the GDP of Denmark. So he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Plus, it's Lily White.
Yes.
Okay, so, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But these are the idiot Democrats. So now what are you going to tell me?
Lincoln Chafee, when asked about the 1999 Glass-Steagall Act and why he voted for it. I mean, this was so embarrassing. I had to cover my eyes just like I was watching a horror film.
Governor Chafee, you've attacked Secretary Clinton for being too close to Wall Street banks. In 1999, you voted for the very bill that made banks bigger.
The Glass-Steagall was my very first vote. I just arrived. My dad had died in office. I was appointed to the office. It was my very first vote.
Are you saying you didn't know what you were voting for?
I just arrived at the Senate. I think we'd get some takeovers, and that was one. It was my very first vote, and it was 92.5. It was the record.
With all due respect,
but let me just say,
what does that say about you that you're casting a vote for something you weren't really sure about?
I think you're being a little rough. I just arrived at the United States Senate. I'd been mayor of my city. My dad had died. I'd been appointed by the governor. It was the first vote, and it was 90-5 because it was a conference report.
You could imagine Sarah Palin saying something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's an old record. The First Family. It was this guy who would imitate John F. Kennedy.
Uh-huh.
It was a big thing. There was an album. And it was a parody. And, of course, somebody would ask him, what do you think of the situation in the Congo? And he'd go, I sent somebody over there to get and he hasn't even sent a postcard back. And so he wasn't familiar. This is a joke. It's a total joke.
No, it is a joke. So
Yeah.
Wolf Blitzer, asked him seriously, really, why are you running and how much money have you raised?
How much money have you raised for your campaign so far?
Well, I came into the race knowing the reality that Secretary Clinton was going to take all the money, essentially, and if there was an insurgent candidate, there might be an opportunity to raise some money. Senator Sanders is that insurgent candidate raising the money, but for the rest of us, it's very difficult. I'm not raising much money, but I do have a budget, and I'm living within it.
Because there's some word you've raised maybe $30,000. Is that right?
Yes, but that's expected. That's totally expected when I got into this race. So I'm not going to raise a lot of money. I set a budget for myself as I do in public service.
Enough already. Why? I do not understand
30
why
grand.
these people feel a need to run for office. He's delusional. He doesn't. I know he was a mayor and he was a senator and he was a governor.
They have a Kickstarter campaign
but
for
he lives in Canada, and he wants to convert us into the metric system. I mean, that's his big thing. And just when will this man drop out? Because I don't want to see him in the next debate. And let me tell you why. I'm a bit of a teethist, and his teeth. He's got summer teeth. Summer teeth means some are here, some are there. And
well, he can't afford it.
Easy on the mic there.
Sorry.
But it looks so painful, his mouth, that I tried a movement online to get him. You know, we got Ronnie Woo Woo teeth back in the late 90s. So I thought, let's get Chafee Choppers. So I did a hashtag Chafee Choppers, and nobody bit. Nobody joined my movement.
No pun intended.
To get Lincoln Chafee Choppers.
At what point will you drop out?
I'm in it as far as I can continue to raise these issues. They're important, and I feel strongly about that.
I mean, enough is enough. Go
Hey,
bye-bye.
I like Jim Webb. You know why?
Why?
I want him to personally administer the death penalty to anybody on death row.
He was militant up there, wasn't he? He was
unbelievable.
great.
You know,
Old
who's your
school
biggest
Democrat.
enemy? It was your political enemy he was being asked about. And he's just said, you know, the guy who tried to kill me with a grenade, because he's not around anymore or whatever. It's great.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, why Bernie Sanders is $2 million richer because of just one comment. Was it planned? Orchestrated? We'll have the answer, but first, here's your forecast.
Today, it's going to be partly sunny and breezy and cooler. High of 52. Patchy clouds tonight and cold. There will be a freeze, a low of 31 tomorrow. Sunshine, but chilly, a high of 49. Low tomorrow night, 34. Sunday, it's going to be sunny to partly cloudy and warmer. High of 58. Low Sunday night, 45. Monday, mostly sunny, windy and warmer. High of 70. Low Monday night, 55. Tuesday, day of the Cup game at Wrigley Field. Breezy and warm with times of clouds and sun. A high of 72. Low Tuesday night, 54. Now it's time for a check of traffic. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Bruce. Good morning. On the inbound Stevenson, it's stop and go from 83 to County Line. There's a crash there in the right lane. You've got a 5-minute delay, and it's growing. Edens and the Kennedy are still fine. The Eisenhower just getting a tad heavy past Manheim. Inbound Ryan, slow from the Stevenson into downtown. About a 5-minute delay there. Bishop Ford had a 6-minute delay from the 115th to the Merge. Tollways are still fine. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com, Traffic Center.
Can you recognize the signs of a structural foundation problem? Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. Many homeowners are experiencing the symptoms of foundation issues. Have you noticed doors or windows that no longer shut properly? Are there new cracks in your drywall or exterior brickwork? Are your floors uneven? These indicators can be signs of damage to your home's foundation. Why fix the problem? Because it will only get worse, and the longer you wait, the more costly it will be. And why choose Permaseal? Because it's free, the inspection that is. Our consultants have been trained and certified by the manufacturer to evaluate your foundation and offer you a permanent solution absolutely free of charge. For over 36 years, my mission has been to provide you with a superior customer experience at the greatest value. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL. When the work is done, you'll have a transferable warranty and the peace of mind you deserve. That's 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
You've invested your heart and soul into your business, and the way you conduct yourself can have long-term effects on its success. The same goes for your business insurance. Your policy's coverage and reaction time when you have a loss can also have long-term effects on your business's success. Knowing the right amount of coverage and how to manage risk is what Heil & Heil Insurance Agency does best. At Heil & Heil, they provide you with a specialized commercial agent who can work with your business to keep it successful while minimizing risk.
Let Heil & Heil find the best ways to protect it and reinvest the savings back into it. Call Heil & Heil Insurance today at 847-866-7400 for a free comprehensive evaluation of your business insurance. That's 847-866-7400 or visit them online, heilandheil.com.
Make sure your business is in the best position to succeed. Call Heil & Heil Insurance today, 847-866-7400, or visit heilandheil.com.
SquareTrade does not cover lost or stolen items. Savings based on 2-year iPhone plan with one claim compared to Assured total equipment coverages of August 10, 2015.
Getting a new iPhone? Don't overpay for phone insurance. Save with SquareTrade Phone Protection instead. Phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $11 every month, plus up to a $199 deductible when you break your phone. SquareTrade iPhone protection is less than $5 a month. We can save you over $240.
Start saving with SquareTrade now. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
It's the Yellow Tag event, and now is the time to find your ultimate adventure. Whether it's a Can-Am ATV, side-by-side, Can-Am Spyder, or Ski-Doo snowmobile, you can turn up the excitement for any season with our industry-leading performance and technology. Hurry in by October 31st and save up to $3,000 on select 2015 models and get up to a 3-year warranty.
Visit Dockside Marine in Wilmington. Restrictions may apply. See your dealer for details. For safety and training info, contact the ATV Safety Institute.
AM 560, The Answer.
We were just talking about Lincoln Chafee, and if he was elected president, he said that, he'd convert our system to the metric system. We got a text message at 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. This one coming from the 815 area code. Hey, guys, the metric system does make me sound bigger to my wife. Hey-oh.
Well, and I think $30,000 sounds bigger.
Oh, yeah.
That's the amount of money that he's gotten in his campaign.
gosh.
That's embarrassing.
Give
you don't
it
say
up.
that you have 30 grand.
Some people are delusional. One person who is not delusional, but I think politically might be off is Bernie Sanders. And remember when he said this during the Democratic debate?
But tonight, I want to talk not about my emails, but about what the American people want from the next president of the United States.
But the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you.
So Bernie Sanders' campaign took that clip. The American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails, and put it into, a mass email, blasted it out and saying, donate now, because they were celebrating this comment he made. Yesterday he raised $1 million. By the end of yesterday, he had raised $2 million because of that one comment.
But the whole thing was that he just tanked. He went in the tank for Hillary Clinton.
I know. But I thought it was orchestrated. I thought that this was planned. So Andrea Mitchell from NBC News caught up with Bernie Sanders and asked him the question. Why did you do that?
Well, it was kind of a spontaneous response.
I'm not buying it. That was a planned.
No.
To me, that was orchestrated.
No.
That he and Hillary had figured this out together, because they refused name calling. It was a very civil debate. No name calling. No mudslinging. I mean, actually, it was kind of boring. So I agree with Trump on that aspect that, it's not going to be like the GOP debate. But you don't think it was planned?
You're a conspiracy theorist.
I know I am.
You probably think Jay Cutler, you're a Jay Cutler truther. You probably think that he tanked during the NFC Championship game in 2010 against the Packers. Everybody's a truther about something.
Josh McCown could have owned this city. He could have owned this town.
So here's the thing. I think he's authentic. I mean, I think he's a nutcase.
Yeah.
But I think I think that was spontaneous. I think he doesn't care about emails. He doesn't care about national security. He doesn't care about Putin and Russia. He just thinks the fault lies with us, with the billionaires and all that. He's an economic idiot.
He's a democratic socialist.
He called himself a socialist. I mean, that's poison.
Well, what's the difference between a socialist and a democratic socialist?
It's a difference
Is it
without a
supposed to be
distinction.
like socialist light,
Right.
low-cal socialism? I'm a
Exactly.
democratic socialist.
Exactly. I mean, he's an ideologue. And the thing is that, so he doesn't care about national security. He doesn't care that we might have compromised, some of our sources, and that Hillary Clinton is doing her own thing with her private email server. He really doesn't care about it, and so he said that. And you know what? The Democrats don't really care about it either, because they don't care. Although Barack Obama, all of a sudden we're in Afghanistan. We're committed to the
And we're
quagmire.
going to talk about that
Giggity.
a little bit later. But also, Bernie Sanders yesterday, guy, can you tell the guy, don't dance? He was on Ellen DeGeneres' show, walking out. He got the white man's move.
Giggity, 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 giggity.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry MyPillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
To get your 2 MyPillows for the price of one, call 800-489-0201 and please use the promo code Amy. Or you can go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code Amy. That's 800-489-0201 or online at MyPillow.com. Either way, don't forget the promo code AMY.
Your audiovisual experience is one that's supposed to be enjoyable. If your home or office lacks the big-time performance you really need, it's time to be shocked with options from Sound Design. Sound Design has the technical background to build it all. They know the value of seeing a project through to the end. And Sound Design will stick with you until you're satisfied, even post-job. Home theaters, office video, and Sound Design. Sure, you can go order equipment from a big box store, but then what? Yikes. Sound Design knows they set the industry standard. This is a company that will take a potential new customer to a current customer space to show off their handiwork. That's why people rave about audio and visual solutions from Sound Design. Be sure to get a demo of the Bang & Olufsen speakers where sophisticated, sleek design meets amazing sound and function. You can visit sounddesigninc.com, but if you really want expert answers to your questions, call 630-548-7000. That's 630-548-7000. Sound Design, where quality service and installation makes the difference.
Hello again, everybody. Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to call David Hochberg, Vice President of Pearl Mortgage. Fannie Mae recently released new lending rules that dramatically help borrowers, so listen carefully. If you wanted to move but couldn't because you were asset challenged, start packing, baby. Previous rule borrowers could only use 70% of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds in non-retirement accounts and 60% of funds in retirement accounts as assets. New rule. Borrowers can now use 100% of retirement and non-retirement accounts. This will enable thousands of people to now qualify to purchase a home. If you or somebody you know is looking to secure a mortgage, do what thousands of AM 560 listeners have done and call David now at 312-751-1333. That's 312-751-1333. Or visit his website, www.am560david.com. That's am560david.com. David's helped thousands of AM 560 listeners. He'll help you. So call David now, 312-751-1333. Pearl Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358. Licensed by DBO under California RMLA NMLS 19186. PearlMortgage.com/licensing.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, would you watch a GOP debate without Donald Trump or Ben Carson? We'll take your calls. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good morning to the one and only Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, here are the stories that we are watching this morning. 2 Chicago police officers could be part of a sex trafficking investigation. We'll have an update on that story. Barbara Burr Bennett's work in Detroit with the school system there is now under investigation. Cook County Clerk Dorothy Brown, part of a federal investigation that is targeting her husband. We'll have the very latest developments for you in the Dennis Hester case. And a missing Illinois hiker found alive in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Cubs to face the Mets. A partly sunny, breezy, and cooler day ahead with a high of 52. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Parts of Southern California are thick with mud, including 2 stretches of Interstate 5 closed.
Cars are all the way to the roofs in mud. It's flooded all the way through.
Secondary roads are also shut.
Cars and trucks were buried in mud. LA County Fire had to rescue people using helicopters. Streets through neighborhoods in northern LA County were turned into rivers. Hillsides were covered in white, which was from golf ball-sized hail.
And that's Fox News Radio's Jessica Rosenthal in LA. A destructive wildfire keeps burning central Texas. It's already charged 6 square miles southeast of Austin, torching 34 homes.
It's all gone. All gone. Nothing but
rubble and ashes and bent sheet metal, and that's pretty much all that's left.
About 400 people are evacuated. The fire is about a quarter contained. Today, a DC-10 joins the fight. It can, in one pass, drop 12,000 gallons of retardant. In Afghanistan, Russia's president is worried that the situation there is critical and could spill over to former Soviet republics. This after President Obama said more U.S. troops will stay longer.
We've made an enormous investment in a stable Afghanistan.
This amid more scrutiny into the U.S. airstrike that hit an Afghan hospital. Fox News Radio's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
U.S. Special Operations analysts were reportedly gathering intelligence on a Doctors Without Borders facility because they believed it was being used by a Pakistani operative to coordinate Taliban activity, a claim Executive Director Jason Cohn says is completely false. A former intelligence official close to the investigation told the AP analysts had the hospital marked on a map they were using to track the location of the alleged operative. It's unclear whether commanders who ordered the attack were aware the site was a hospital. Dave?
Rachel, Turkish warplanes have shot down an unidentified aircraft that went into Turkish airspace near the Syrian border. They say it was a drone. They gave it warnings, and then they took it down. This is Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
Partly cloudy skies, 46 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. 2 veteran Chicago police officers are off the job. They're being investigated as part of a child prostitution case. We get details on this story from AM 560's David Stewart.
The investigation by the FBI and the Police Internal Affairs Division started with child pornography images and now is looking at whether the 2 cops, both 20-year veterans, were connected to a website where a 14-year-old girl had allegedly been soliciting prostitution. The police department wouldn't discuss details of the investigation that's now reportedly several months old, but said that the 2 officers have been relieved of their police powers and reassigned to paid desk duty. They have not been charged. David Stewart, Chicago.
Former Chicago Public Schools CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett could face more legal issues, this time in Detroit, where the public school system confirms her work at that district is under investigation. She served as Chief Academic and Accountability Officer from 2009 to 2011. During that time, she was involved in awarding more than $3 million in contracts to companies owned by Gary Solomon and Thomas Vranis. Both are accused of arranging a bribery and kickback scheme with Byrd Bennett during her time here in Chicago. Cook County Clerk Dorothy Brown in hot water after a federal investigation of her husband has expanded to include her. The Sun-Times says agents have seized Brown's cell phone and subpoenaed some employees in their probe of Benton Cook and his handling of state anti-violence grants. A Southwest suburban man who disappeared while on a hiking trip in Michigan's UP is alive. John Niesman of Homer Glen was found yesterday somewhat dehydrated in a wooded area near Imp Lake. Niesman was reported missing when he did not return last Saturday night to a motel just over the border in Wisconsin. Niesman, who goes as Wolverine Jack, goes on a hiking trip in Michigan's UP twice a year. NHL, Washington beat the Blackhawks 4-1. Just an update on the Cubs, who will take on the Mets in the NLCS. No Addison Russell, out with a strained left hamstring. The news service of the Lake Forest Graduate School of Management, who teaches Chicago's most relevant MBA, professors who develop theories, or business professionals who deliver results. Lake Forest Graduate School of Management, Chicago's only MBA with a faculty of 100% business leaders. Visit lakeforestmba.edu/leader. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity doesn't believe Hillary's new persona.
She's going to make a concerted effort on the campaign trail now to be funny, to be warm, to be transparent.
Just because she says it doesn't make it true.
She's not funny, she's not a warm person, and she's not somebody that has a lot of fidelity to the truth. I mean, it's the exact opposite.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Willie Wilson, candidate for President of the United States. As President, education will be at the top of my priorities.
Paid for by Willie Wilson 2016.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio.
Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Illinois deserves an honest analysis of the problems facing our state. Avoid the spin from the mainstream media and Springfield insiders by tuning in to Illinois Rising every Sunday at 3 p.m. AM 560's Dan Proft and the Illinois Policy Institute tackle the policy and political issues that matter most and discuss possible solutions. So if you're sick of the status quo, then be sure to listen to Illinois Rising this Sunday at 3 p.m. on AM 560. The Answer.
6:06 in our Chicago RadioDeals.com traffic center, and here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the inbound Stevenson, traffic is stop and go from 355 to County Line Road, where a crash just moved to the right shoulder. Then it's heavy Pulaski to Kedzie, but it's 50 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 25 from the Tri-State. Outbound, there's a 5-minute Gapers delay from LaGrange Road to County Line. The Edens is fine. The Kennedy's still good, too. About Eisenhower, there are delays. Manheim to First Avenue, then Western to just past Ashland. A crash there in the left lane. It is 36 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 29. Ryan, inbound, crash past 71st. 2 right lanes are blocked. It's 20 minutes, 95th to the loop. Traffic is a service of TCF Bank. No matter if you're buying a new house or saving for one, TCF is in rhythm with your next move. So when you're ready for a low-rate mortgage, visit TCF Bank to apply. Learn more. Go to tcfbank.com. Equal housing lender, subject to credit approval. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solutions provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
A freeze warning in effect from 11 p.m. this evening until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Today, partly sunny, breezy, and cooler with a high 52. Then it will be a freeze tonight with patchy clouds, low 31. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
44 at O'Hare, 49 along the lakefront, and 36 in Aurora. Your next news update is at 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Autumn Leaves Memory Care Communities, now open in Glen Ellen. Take a virtual tour at autumnleaves.com.
Good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Today, President Obama did an about-face on his previous pledge to bring home all but an embassy security force by the end of next year. Instead, he announced there will be at least 5,500 American troops in Afghanistan into 2017, beyond the end of his term in office.
I've decided to maintain our current posture of 9,800 troops in Afghanistan through most of next year, 2016.
Lawyers for Dennis Hastert told a federal judge in Chicago today that he has agreed to change his plea to guilty. The former speaker, now 73, was accused of evading federal banking rules and making payments of nearly $2 million in hush money to cover up past misconduct. He was also charged with lying to the FBI about it.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good Friday morning. Thank you so much for making us a part of your morning. I'm Amy Jacobson, and for Dan Proft is Bruce Wolf. Thanks,
Hi.
Bruce. Hi. Glad you made it here to work today.
It's great to be here.
I was worried when I didn't see you in the parking lot at 3:30 this morning.
I didn't want to show. I didn't want to look too.
Judging.
Didn't want to look too eager.
Okay.
I am eager and I'm anxious, but I didn't want to look it.
Okay. Well, that's good. But thanks for coming in.
It's
We
great to be
appreciate
here.
it. And of course, you're always here on big news days. I mean, now we know the Cubs are going to play the New York Mets for the NLCS. That's decided. In case you're just waking up, they're flying east instead of flying west.
It's a bigger deal because it's the Mets over the Dodgers because of the, 1969.
Oh,
Nobody
boy.
remembers it in 60. Well, the people do remember.
Oh, people remember.
65, they got a perfect game thrown by Sandy Koufax. And by the way, I think Jake Arrieta is not going to pitch the first game.
No, he's not.
As
It's official.
an homage
Mhm.
to Sandy Koufax sitting out the first game of the 65 World Series because it was Yom Kippur. So I think that's why, because I can't think of any reasonable
This is why I'm
way-
glad you're here.
I don't understand why else they would
I don't
Jake
know.
Arrieta.
It's just what Joe
Yeah.
Madden does. He always keeps us on our toes as fans, wondering what. So, but the big story this morning, and we of course always are here for your calls. 312-642-5600. Would anyone out there? Would you, Bruce Wolf, watch a GOP debate without Donald Trump? Is that even? Oh, why are you shaking your head? Well, because we're learning late last night and this morning that Donald Trump may sit this one out. He and Ben Carson are teaming up, tag team. They've written a letter together complaining to the RNC and to CNBC, who's hosting the event, that they may boycott the event because they're not happy that it might last 3 hours. Listen to this. They were at CNBC wants the event to be close to 3 hours, but that's not including opening and closing statements. So last night, Donald Trump was on with Greta Van Susteren, and made his case.
I understand that you don't like the rules that CNBC has set for its next GOP debate. Are you seriously thinking that you would boycott it?
Well, the same thing is happening as happened with CNN. They sold the commercials so much and for so much money. It was going to be $4,000 for a 30-second commercial. It ended up being $200,000 and $250,000 for a 30-second commercial. And same thing's happening now with CNBC. And what they're trying to do, they've sold out all their commercials and they want to increase it by an hour. Now, if you look at the, debate, even though it was pretty boring from last night or the other night with Hillary and the group, that debate, it was a 2-hour deal. Now they want to make this an extra hour. And I think it's unfair to the viewers because it's too much to watch, and they're doing it because they want to make more money.
Is there some truth to that? 312-642-5600 is our number. Our turnkey.pro text line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. CNBC in their defense said, look, we have 14 candidates we have to get to. The Democratic debate, there was only 5. And did you sit through the whole Democratic debate?
Well, I mean, and what is CNBC? They don't even have Larry Kudlow anymore, do they?
I don't know.
So, I mean, Trump knows TV. I mean,
Yeah,
and
he does. You're right.
What were there, like 28 million viewers for the first Fox debate? So he knows that. But, if they can actually sell it, then maybe that means that there actually would be viewers for the third hour. I think Trump has attention deficit disorder. You notice that he never even finishes a sentence. A lot of times he doesn't. He loses interest in his own sentences after the subject. I don't really feel like getting to a predicate here. So he doesn't think his ideas through. And by the way, I'm kind of a supporter of his too. But he's a bit of a clown. And, it gets dull.
Well, he said if he does agree to do it and it goes longer than 2 hours, he may just walk off stage.
Why not?
So does that mean if they're going to do 3 hours that you would say, I'm out of here after 2 hours?
Well, I spoke to Reince and I spoke to the RNC, and so have other people, actually. And, they don't like the idea because it's unfair. It's unfair to the viewers. I don't care. I could stand for 5 hours. I could stand for 10 hours. But it's unfair to the viewers. It's too long. The Democratic debate, if you look at it, that was 2 hours and it was too long. Everybody was bored at the end. They want to make this much longer than that. So I think it's really important that they make it a reasonable period of time.
It could be like a basketball game, garbage time. And after he scores all his points after 2 hours, you let the other guys into the game.
312-642-5600 is our number. To the phone lines we go. And our good friend, I can't believe he's calling. I think he has the number memorized. It's Sean from Elmwood Park. Good morning, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Good morning. Good morning, Bruce. I love to wake up and hear the voice in the morning because we're pre-Barack Obama. When we first started doing this, our taxes were much lower and our freedoms were much greater. But this is the kind of thing that I love when Trump and Carson and Fiorina and Cruz, and I disagree with all of them on various points. However, their biggest challenge is really not the Democrats, because when you articulate the difference between freedom and socialism, between liberty and tyranny, you win every time. We would win every time. Their biggest hurdle is that inbred freak Reince Priebus and the RNC, who likes to sell the power of government, who likes to prostitute the power of government. They're looking at keeping the party running. So what they want to do is have 3 hours, and they want to have a charade and a circus like they've had before, where they are attacking those very outsiders who challenge to disrupt that monopoly they have on the two-party system. So the idea that these two people who really are running against each other, think about this. I don't remember this happening, and I've been a political junkie since I was 9. I don't remember two candidates, opposed candidates, saying, what our biggest problem is the structure in which they are mandating us to compete. That's what's really happening.
And that's not even including the 16 minutes in commercial breaks where Trump has to hang around there. He's got places to go. I mean, he doesn't want to be there for 3.5 hours.
Now, look at what you were talking about before, how Bernie Sanders, it's evident that they're colluding because why? They're party first. See, that's what these both parties want. They want allegiance and loyalty to the system that we, as people who are cursed with the gift of literacy, see as absolute corruption. They want to protect the party.
Hey, Sean, I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but what did you think of the Duchess of Chafington's performance the other night?
I'll tell you what, watching her do anything is like watching Dracula sunbathe. She is the most unlikable woman you've ever. Everything is painful because it is all so fake. In fact, the only thing Bill Clinton has ever done that I've ever understood is the multiple adultery and affairs. I think all he should have done is held up a picture of her in a bathrobe. This is why. Can anyone blame me? Can you imagine dealing with her 24/7?
Well, did you hear that she said about rape victims should be believed? And I wanted to ask her the question. Well, do you think Juanita Broaddrick should have been believed?
Oh, hey,
that's the irony. Only in this country could somebody. Do you believe how these people have lived for 40 years? What they did in Arkansas. The scandals go back to when they were in college. The profit is unbelievable. Yet somehow they position themselves as the champion for the real people. They wouldn't know a real person, and the way they talk to real people in real life, it is only through. Yeah. It's outrageous, and this could not happen without people who share that party-first vision. You realize, Bruce, we are being overthrown by Soviets. There are no more Democrats anymore. They eat their own. These are now Soviets. Look what they're doing to Jim Webb. He's the only Democrat up there.
Yeah, he scares me too. But his wife's good looking too,
Now, was she a beneficiary of affirmative action? Because he had problems with affirmative action, but the Asians aren't. Asians aren't the beneficiaries.
Thanks, Sean, for your call.
Thank you, Sean.
I love to judge people on appearances. Believe me, look at Grady Trockmickle. Look at these freaks we have in Cook County. I just wish we were consistent. So, Jim Webb, he's scary because he's got the 1,000-yard stare. Who's more scary than Rahm Emanuel, the 9-fingered midget with the short man complex since birth? Who's more scary than that freak? Yet he wins every time, hands down.
He does. All right, thanks, Sean, for the call. Appreciate it.
Only 9 fingers on the hands, but okay.
And the middle finger's the one that's
missing.
All right, let's go to Phil, who joins us from the Northwest Side. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, guys. I'm sorry. He took everything I was going to say.
Oh, it's all right.
So you'll second the emotion.
So,
sure.
Phil,
one thing is I'd like to see Trump and Carson run together instead of run against each other. I'd like to see them run as a team. Vice president, or vice versa. But Sean hit it on the mark with everything.
You know what Bill Kristol said? Not that I want to elevate this conversation at all, but Bill Kristol did say he liked the idea. Not necessarily that he liked it that much, but he was forecasting the possibility of a Trump web ticket. Think about that. You don't have to be. You could have.
Oh, and I heard yesterday on Extra TV a Trump Oprah Winfrey ticket, but Oprah Winfrey, thank God, has said no to politics.
But we're going to have so many victories, and they're going to be great victories, and we're going to have them all the time.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, Homeland hacked a clever prank on one of our favorite TV shows. But first, here's your forecast with the one and only Bruce Wolf.
Today, partly sunny, breezy and cooler, high of 52. Tonight, patchy clouds and cold. There will be a freeze, low of 31. Tomorrow, sunshine, but chilly, high of 49. Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy and warmer, a high of 58. And Tuesday, day the Cubs play at home, breezy and warm with times of clouds and sun, high of 72. Low Tuesday night, 54. Good baseball weather. Now, for a check of traffic, here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Bruce and Amy. Northbound I-55 has heavy delays from past 53 to County Line after an earlier crash. It's 55 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, but just 25 from the Tri-State. Outbound, there's about a 3-minute delay from LaGrange Road to County Line. Inbound Ryan past 71st. An earlier collision is gone, but the delays remain. It is slow, actually, on I-57 at the Bishop Ford, starting with delays around 115th. I-57, 31 minutes. I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford 34. And the Ryan is 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. About Eisenhower, but a 5-minute delay from Manheim to First Avenue, and a little slow around Ashland after an earlier crash there. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com, Traffic Center.
So often on this show, we talk about the important issues that affect your world, things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. And on this show, because there's always so much going on, we don't always have the time to drill down and talk about the big ideas behind the big issues. That's one of the reasons Dan is involved with a new website, along with the Illinois Policy Institute, called Upstream Ideas, online at upstream-ideas.com. At Upstream Ideas, you'll find information that will inform some of the policy discussions that we're having here on this show and elsewhere. At Upstream Ideas, we want to broaden the parameters of debate and move beyond the same old partisan assumptions. We want to challenge accepted orthodoxies, and we debunk some of the faulty premises that inform the rules on which our free society is based. In other words, we're pushing against the current. We're saying standing athwart history and yelling stop, if I may ad-lib right there. Yes, we're thinking upstream. We'll ask, why are the conditions the way they are, and how can those conditions be improved? Go online now to upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. With each visit to Upstream Ideas, you'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to spur you on to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit more free, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized.
At TIAA-CREF, our record sounds like a broken record. We got impressive results in 2013. And 2014, same thing. We're like, hey, weren't we just here? Then 2015, boom, more impressive results. That's the kind of record you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Intelligent investing, powerful results. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA-CREF, Individual and Institutional Services, LLC. Investing involves risk.
How do you stay connected to your business when your work has you traveling from Miami on Monday to Tacoma on Tuesday? You call Regis at 1-800-OFFICES. Regis offers drop-in business lounges, meeting rooms, and office space in more than 3,000 locations worldwide, allowing you to work from anywhere at any time, all on your terms. Call Regis today at 1-800-OFFICES and get a free office or meeting room for a day. Regis, here to help you grow.
Chicago. This is a city of hardworking, dedicated people. So when you need a team to design, construct, and finish your project on time and on budget, look no further than to CPMH Construction. CPMH Construction is a full-service construction company specializing in commercial and industrial projects, along with sewer, excavation, and parking lot design. This MBE-certified business uses the technology you want and puts it in the hands of their skilled crew of tradesmen. Tradesmen who are loaded with the know-how and experience to address every detail of your job, meeting your standard of excellence. At CPMH, client satisfaction is the foundation of their success, which is why 97% of their clients return for additional services. Call CPMH today at 312-929-2345. That's 312-929-2345. Or visit cpmhconstruction.com and let them develop and implement a plan that ensures you the success of your next big project.
AM 560, The Answer.
Air and naval forces of the United States launched a series of strikes against terrorist facilities.
It just got the chills.
103 crashed into the town of Lockerbie. He has sanctioned acts of terror in Africa, Europe.
Homeland. It's on season 5, episode 2.
Put the scarf around your face right now. Come on,
What
Carrie
are
Matheson.
you asking me to do? Sal?
Yeah, I'm Saul.
I'm going to stammer.
I'm Saul.
Oh
I'm
my
Jewish.
God.
I'm Mandy Patinkin.
She's always just so distraught. She's crazy. Carrie Matheson. Ah.
Have
But
you
I do
taken
love
your
the show.
meds this
Have I
morning,
taken my meds?
Carrie?
I don't know. Have you taken your meds, Bruce? All right. So it's one of our favorite shows, Homeland. And I don't know if you saw Sunday night. Spoiler alert.
saw it.
If you didn't see, well, a lot of people DVR it, and watch it later. They have it on demand. Okay, I'm
Sure.
trying to be hip with the kiddies.
Can we talk
So-
about Breaking Bad now?
Oh,
Okay.
no,
All right,
no,
sure.
I'm not done yet with Breaking Bad. So in season 5, episode 2, it showed CIA officer Carrie Matheson being escorted by a Hezbollah militant.
Wait a minute. She's not in the CIA now. She's working for a private
Well-
entity. Or is she in the CIA?
Dun, dun, dun. We don't know. but I know how the season's going to end.
She's fucking for German.
So she was walking in a fictional Syrian refugee camp covered with Arabic graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all's well. So the producers, they wanted to make the scene look authentic. This was shot outside of Berlin, Germany, in an area that was destroyed, obviously, by something during World War II, probably a bomb.
Oh, so it wasn't shot in
no,
a Hezbollah, actual Hezbollah camp
near the
lesbian border,
Lebanese-Syrian border. Stop it. So they hired these 3 Arabic street artists, to make it look more authentic. Well, turns out that there was a subversive message. It escaped the notice of producers on the television series. See, nobody on the staff of Homeland speaks Arabic, which I find very interesting.
So what did they write on the walls?
You ready what they wrote?
Yeah.
All right. Well, before they did the writing, because I want to tease you here a little bit longer, all the 3 Arabic street artists, they watched the 4 prior seasons of Homeland to get a feel for what the show was about. They didn't like the way that Muslims were depicted.
Mm-hmm.
They thought, shame on them. They're perpetuating a stereotype that all of us Muslims are scary, that we're all jihadists, we're all out here to kill you.
When it's only 50%.
Well, is it really 50%?
It's a lot.
All right, so they spray painted on the wall, Homeland is racist.
In Arabic.
In Arabic, so you can see it in the background during Homeland. If anybody, could speak Arabic,
Shalom
they look
Aleichem.
at this. That
well,
too.
that's Hebrew.
Yeah, that is Hebrew.
Okay,
nice try. Like Homeland is racist. They also put there is no homeland, which is another one. And this is my favorite. They really got him on this one. Are you ready?
Bullwinkle is
ready?
a dope. Not that lesson.
Homeland is not a show. Booyah! Oh, they got him. They got him deep.
That was a dog whistle to all their fellow Arabs. They're Muslims. And the Muslims who actually were able to read it, they should be on the no-fly list. The ones who have been assimilated, they're fine.
What are you talking
Hey, isn't it
about?
interesting? The show is about this year's theme, and I'm not giving away anything,
right.
is about the CIA computers being hacked. So, in essence, in a meta version of that, the show itself was hacked by these people who wrote this graffiti on the walls.
You'd think they'd
Isn't that
have
great?
one person on staff
Who cares?
who speaks
It
Arabic.
looked good enough.
It did look good. But, Homeland is, it's an imitation of life, or is art an imitation of life? I mean, what are we doing here? Because next they're going to talk about Charlie Hebdo, excuse me.
Sure.
They're going to talk about
like the
that one.
hybrid.
They already got in with the Syrian refugees. I mean, it's a fascinating show. They have to have somebody from the CIA who is leaking storylines to them. Because I know people here in Chicago who work in newsrooms who are leaking storylines to certain TV shows such as ER and Law and Order. So they must have somebody inside the CIA giving them these storylines.
Or the CTA.
Or maybe they're just watching.
Espionage at the CTA.
Yeah, or maybe they're just watching Fox News. Somebody pretending to be a CIA agent in trouble today.
I don't care if it's real or not. Look, a couple of seasons ago, the entire structure of the CIA was destroyed, including most of the personnel. Boom shakalaka.
Langley was gone.
Yeah.
Quickly, you can always reach us on our turnkey.pro text line 64636. Type in DA. Then a quick comment. Bruce Wolf filling in today for Dan Proft. We got one from the 847 area code. Hey, Bruce, did your former employer take away your Italy trip promotion? Because you know what? It's so strange. I was wondering that too. So did you ever get to go to Italy?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I never got to go to Italy.
I'm so sorry, Bruce.
No, I never got to go. But I enjoyed the Pope's visit to the United States.
Maybe there was a conversion?
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
We're not gathered here united tonight because of the name of our teams or of our schools,
Witness the true story
but because of the name
of a spiritual awakening
above all names,
that saved a high school
Jesus.
and shook a city. Experience one hope.
Nobody out there knows what's happened with this team.
One truth.
But when you win on this day, they will!
One way.
The changes to these boys' own.
Woodlawn.
I'm asking asking you to stand up right now and make a decision, to change, to forgive, to choose Jesus.
I want you to stop all religious activities until this board has taken this matter under full review.
I think I'm gonna get hit no matter what I do. I got some tough decisions to make.
Woodlawn, now showing.
AM 560.
The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, he was once the great Republican Party white knight. Now he's going to be pleading guilty, so we may never know who and what happened with Dennis Hastert, who he victimized and what he did, and we'll talk about it. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say hello to Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're following a developing story this morning in Africa where 2 bombing attacks in Nigeria have killed dozens. Emergency officials and witnesses say 4 women blew themselves up when challenged by soldiers as they tried to enter the town of Maiduguri, killing at least 18. And hours earlier, bombs exploded in a mosque in that town, killing at least 30. Boko Haram extremists are suspected. Emergency crews have been shoveling mud from a section of I-5 north of L.A. following flash flooding brought on by heavy rains. Officials say they're not sure when that important link and roadway will be reopened. A mother's been charged this morning with murder after allegedly throwing her baby girl out of a 6th-floor window of a Bronx apartment building. Police say the baby is the 3rd child killed that way in New York in 3 months. 2 veteran Chicago police officers are being relieved of their police powers while authorities determine if they were involved in the sex trafficking of a girl. The Tribune says the FBI is working with the police department's Internal Affairs Division on the investigation. Former Chicago Public Schools CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett could be facing more legal issues. This time, the Detroit Public Schools confirm her work in the district for 2 years, 2009 to 2011, is under investigation. She was apparently involved in awarding more than $3 million to companies owned by Gary Solomon and Thomas Vranis. Both are accused of arranging a bribery and kickback scheme with Byrd Bennett during her time here in Chicago. And Chicago police are still trying to determine if there is a link between a missing Rockford boy and the remains of a toddler found in a city lagoon. Authorities are still waiting on DNA results on Kirian Knox. The 2-year-old was reported missing last month, nearly 2 weeks after a child's body parts were found in the Garfield Park Lagoon. Chicago sports was Washington over the Blackhawks, 4-1. Cubs will take on the Mets in the NLCS, and they will do so without Addison Russell out with a strained left hamstring. John Lester gets the series opener start on Saturday night. Thursday night, NFL. Don't write off Drew Brees just yet as the Saints down the Falcons 31-21. The news, a service of Fresh Time Farmers Market. Healthy food, healthy values. This week, tender asparagus is only $1.27 a pound, and fresh salmon fillet is only $3.97 a pound. Grand opening prices valid at all 7 Chicagoland locations, and now in Bucktown, Lincoln Park, Crystal Lake, and Naperville. FreshTime.com. 6:33 and a check of traffic and weather coming up next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager always puts tragedy in perspective.
I'd like a politician on the left, any Democrat, any activist for more gun laws, to be asked this question. What do you think is more likely to reduce murders by firearm? Not by knives even, but by firearms. More gun laws or more fathers?
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I am Willie Wilson, candidate for President of the United States. As your president, we must take care of our country first.
Paid for by Willie Wilson 2016.
Hi, I'm Tom Sadeka, CEO of Precision Payroll of America. We're the 32-year-old company whose first employee and first client are still working together. Every chance I get, we like to thank our active duty military and our veterans. In addition, we proudly serve and support Operation Support Our Troops America.
Thanks, Tom. I'm Deb Rickert, founder of OSAD America, mom of 2 service members, and 1 happy Precision Payroll client. We are so happy to work with Tom's team at Precision Payroll to take care of those regulatory respiratory headaches so that we can focus on serving our active duty and veteran communities. Your support is so important. Thank you.
Deb, thanks for all you do. And anybody who's listening who signs up with us, we will make a donation to OSAT America on their behalf. So please call me at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Or on the web at precisionpayroll.com. Let's make a difference together.
With the change of season and the cooler weather comes many things added to your to-do list. Watch football, rake leaves, consume more cider donuts than needed, clean the gutters, make sure the furnace is ready for the Chicago cold. But there is one key item missing from your to-do list: scheduling your garage door and opener checkup. That's right, every other part of your home gets the care and attention that is required for proper performance, but your garage door is taken for granted. Before it's too late and you find yourself with a garage door that forgets how to open and close, schedule your garage door and opener checkup with House of Doors, 708-485-5000. That's 708-485-5000. Or online at houseofdoorsinc.com. Think about how much you rely on your garage door. Now is the time. Take care of it with House of Doors Garage Door Checkup, 708-485-5000. Online at houseofdoorsinc.com, where quality starts right at the door, with an A rating from Angie's List.
My name is Dr. Howard. I've recommended Balance of Nature for over 15 years because of the excellent results I see in my patients. Balance of Nature doesn't make any claims of treating or curing any particular disease, but I think the results speak for themselves.
I hate veggies, so this was a perfect way to get vitamins and veggies that worked with my body.
I do feel better, but as far as health-wise goes, I used to have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I'm not doing that anymore. The ringing in my ear is a lot less than what it used to be. Those are the two things right away that I noticed, and I'm not as hungry as I used to be also.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
At the end of a long day, all you want to do is relax. Maybe grab a cold one. And eat something that's not frozen and thrown into a deep fryer. That's why you have Heroes West Sports Grill. If you want to relax, the place feels like home. If you're ready for a cold one, try 37 choices on tap alone. Hunger is a thing of the past, too, with dishes direct from their scratch kitchen. Heroes West Sports Grill in Joliet has mastered the best, just to ensure that your experience is full of happiness. But that's just the beginning. They, like AM 560 The Answer, are huge supporters of your servicemen, women, and first responders. That's why they continue to give back with Warrior Wing Wednesday. You're invited in to enjoy their famous wings at a bargain and have proceeds from your order go towards helping America's real heroes. Heroes West Sports Grill. Casual comfort just like home. Find them online at heroeswest.net. That's heroeswest.net.
6:38. Let's get an update on the roads in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Mike. The latest crash is on the outbound Kennedy at Ogden. A 5-car collision. 2 left lanes are blocked. It's jammed from downtown, actually well before. The travel time on the outbound Kennedy, 35 minutes downtown to O'Hare, though it's pretty clear past Ogden. Inbound 25 minutes. Where that crash is really having an impact is on the inbound ride. Already heavy after a crash past 71st. Now it's 40 minutes from 95th to downtown. Just packed solid 35th on in. And I-57 to Bishop Ford heavy. It's on the inbound side of I-57. 32 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford 35. Eden's 23 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 19. The Eisenhower 42 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 31. Stevenson after a crash at County Line. 55 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Traffic is a service of UPSjobs.com. Seeking seasonal tractor-trailer drivers throughout Chicagoland, especially Northbrook, Palatine, Franklin Park, and Bedford Park. Seasonal drivers receive competitive pay and must have a commercial driver's license. Apply now at upsjobs.com/radio. A great job and great pay in one package. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solutions provider. Partly sunny, breezy, and cooler with a high of 52. Patchy clouds and cold. There will be a hard freeze overnight. A low of 31 and a chilly Saturday ahead. 44 at O'Hare. Next news at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Who saw this coming? Yesterday, Denny Hastert's attorney, well, they changed his plea, so he's agreed to cut a deal with the feds. Full lineup or full, all the paperwork is going to be filed on Monday, and he'll have to appear in court October 28th. But he's pleading guilty to money laundering and to lying to the FBI. And he's doing this to avoid public exposure. 312-642-5600. Individual A, if you call us, we'll jump you to the front of the line. We'll put you on first. Because as
Wait,
a
individual
taxpayer,
A, wasn't that Jesse Jackson Jr. or something?
No,
that's
no.
another case.
But as a taxpayer, as it someone who is a fan of Denny Hastert's, I'm heartbroken because we'll never know what he did and to whom.
Wait a minute.
I mean, you're an attorney.
If you're a fan of his, why do you want to get into the nitty-gritty, dirty details of what he did? I am not a fan of Denny Hastert's. I think he's the worst kind of Republican there is.
What does that mean?
He was a pork barrel Republican. He talks the talk, but then he brings all the money back to his district, and that is precisely what is wrong with our government.
That's what politicians are supposed to do.
No, not conservative Republican politicians.
They're supposed to think about the greater cause?
Well, they are supposed to lower our taxes and stop bringing the bacon back home. And now he may get porked in prison.
Oh, hey. So he could serve anywhere from 1 to 10 years in prison. My sources told me yesterday he'll probably spend 1 year in prison, and that's it. But, it just really surprised me. Here's former prosecutor Peter White.
The government is rightfully concerned about protecting the identity of victims. There are frequently victims who don't want to testify, who don't want to go forward.
And when you speak of victims, we talk about victims. Remember Stephen Reinbold, Yorkville grad? He died in 1995 of AIDS, but according to his sister, Denny Hastert was his first, and I hate to say this, but his first sexual partner.
I asked him, Stevie, when was your first same-sex experience? And he just looked at me and said, it was with Dennis Hastert. And I was stunned. I said, why didn't you ever tell anybody, Stevie? He was your teacher. Why didn't you ever tell anybody? And he just looked at me and said, who is ever going to believe me? In this town, who is ever going to believe me?
And Denny Hastert was in charge of such impressionable young men, 14, 15, 16-year-olds. And as a mother of 2 boys, I just hope to God that their coaches, the people that will be in their lives, their role models, will never do this to them and take advantage of them. And that's why I'm mad, because he's not going to be charged with what he really should be charged with, and that's child molestation.
So it's like getting Al Capone on income taxes. Okay. So he gone. Denny Hastert.
As an attorney, is there anything we can do, or the statute of limitations is...
Well, there's nobody
if
to
anyone
bring...
has the courage to come forward and talk about it, but there's the stigma attached to it that there's some shame associated with being a sexual abuse victim. And that's what's wrong.
There are people who still defend him. Like reading
His
the
wife?
story. Well, somebody was on their wrestling team, Yorkville wrestling team in the 1970s.
Oh, yeah. His name is Gary Maddock.
He will always be my friend forever. He has been and he will always be.
But just the hypocrisy for the left to now say, oh, look at you Republicans. I remember Denny Hastert replaced Bob Livingston, who was having multiple affairs. And in 1999, bashed Bill Clinton. I don't know if it was 1999, but bashed Bill Clinton about his affairs with Monica Lewinsky.
He has abused and violated the public trust.
Wait, let me hear it again.
He has abused and violated the public trust.
You know what LaRoche Foucault said about that? Hypocrisy is the tribute that vice pays to virtue. So I don't mind hypocrisy. But, Denny Hastert, is, unless somebody can come up with, I'm always willing to let the door open to contrary evidence, but there's at least a rebuttable presumption that he's a really bad guy.
And Denny Hastert even had the courage, the stupidity to show up at Stephen Reinbold's funeral when he died in 1995 from AIDS. And Stephen's sister, Jolene, she confronted Denny Hastert in the parking lot.
I just looked at him and I said, I want to know why you did what you did to my brother. He just stood there and stared at me. And then I just continued to say, I want you to know that your secret didn't die in there with my brother. And I want you to remember that I'm out here and that I know.
So he paid $1.7 million to keep somebody from talking. Hush money. What does that person know? Will we ever find out?
We know.
Well, we know it's conjecture on our part. Let's go to Joe. 312-642-5600 is our number. Joe joins us from beautiful Joliet. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, I don't like child molesters or blackmailers. They're $1.7 million. Did anybody declare that on the income tax? Like Bruce said, Al Capone's in prison for taxes.
Well, so you're upset with the blackmailer, with the guy who was victimized when he was a kid?
Both of them.
Okay.
Well, both of them are, I mean, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And an individual A, since he's cooperating with the feds, he's not going to be charged, and I don't think he'll be charged with tax evasion. Does he have to pay the money back? Should he have to pay the money back, Bruce?
Boy, these are questions beyond my ken here.
Well,
I'm just glad
an attorney.
that I just hate Hastert from his politics. He's the worst sort of Republican. Absolutely.
He's the worst sort of human being. All right, here's Jolene Burge when she reacted to his plea deal.
I would have liked to have seen him go to trial for more details to come out. But the main thing is that the truth has come out and his actions have been revealed.
Yeah, I think we know what happened.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, your tax dollars at work, the inside scoop on what really happened during Principal Training Day by Soups Academy. But first, here's your forecast.
Today, it's going to be partly sunny, breezy and cooler, a high of 52. Tonight, patchy clouds and cold. There'll be a freeze, low of 31. Tomorrow, sunshine, but chilly, high of 49. Sunday to partly cloudy and warmer, high of 58. And on Tuesday today, the Cubbies are going to be playing at Wrigley Stadium. I believe Jeff Gordon called it that. I don't know. I'm not a big baseball fan. Breezy and warm with times of cloud and sun, high of 72. Low Tuesday night of 54. Now for a check of traffic, here's Jim Telemonte.
Thank you, Bruce. Cliff, thank you, Amy. Good morning. On the outbound Kennedy at Ogden Avenue, there's a 5-car crash. 4 left lanes are blocked. It's a real mess coming out of downtown. 35 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Inbound about 25. Where this is really making an impact, though, is on the inbound Rhine. It's now a really heavy delay all the way in from the merge, especially from the Skyway on in. It's 1 hour from 95th to downtown. Outbound fine at 15 minutes. I-57, Bishop Ford, both running about 35 minutes from I-80 to the merge. Eden's 23 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 19. The Eisenhower, 46 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 33 minutes. Stevenson holding at 55 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Northbound Tri-State, the delays are from Harlem to 87th, Plainfield Road to 47th, and from the Reagan Tillway to North Avenue. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com Traffic Center.
Time now for the Lou Dobbs Market Preview, brought to you by the Mutual Fund Store.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Industrial production, consumer confidence, and a number of corporate developments influencing action on Wall Street. Those stories next.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with a computerized wave ventilation unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave ventilation requires no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance wave ventilation unit. For more information, visit mydryhouse.com. That's mydryhouse.com. Or call 888-798-WAVE. That's 888-798-WAVE.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Investors hope for a strong follow-through to yesterday's more than 1% rally on Wall Street. Earnings reports from Advanced Micro Devices, GE, Mattel, and Wynn Resorts all in focus today. Investors giving a pass to AMD, its stock up and extended trading despite a larger than expected quarterly loss, but the company also announced a manufacturing deal with a Chinese company. Yum Brands higher and extended trading. Yum Brands adding activist investor Keith Meister to its board. Investors also assessing reports on industrial production, available job openings, and consumer confidence. We'll see how those reports influence the perspective that the Federal Reserve won't be able to justify raising interest rates this year. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
So, I'm retiring today.
Freedom!
I hate goodbyes, so I've hired singers to follow me around and bid my coworkers farewell.
It's John's last day.
Okay, let's get started. Here's Tom.
Your pranks were amazing, despite what HR says.
Next, Susan.
Your homemade cookies blew his mind and diet.
Finally, Dave.
You never judged him for his popcorn burning.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you guys.
Ready to give your swan song at work? The Mutual Fund Store can help. We'll sit down with you one-on-one to talk about your goals. Then we'll put a plan in place to help get you on track. Finally, we'll keep a close eye on your account to make sure you stay on track. Discover how within reach your retirement could be for you with a free portfolio review and consultation.
Hi, I'm Matt Personette with the Mutual Fund Store in Chicagoland. Call me at 888-498-3636 or visit mutualfundstore.com and let's talk about your financial goals today.
AM 560, The Answer.
My arms are too stiff. We're practicing our golf swings in here. What do you mean my arm is too stiff?
No, you got to relax them a little. No,
No,
you're
you
way
go
too
back-
stiff.
no, you don't bend
first
your arm.
Yes, at that point you do.
No, you don't. Did you ever see Tiger Woods going like this?
Yes, there's an L shape and on top of the backswing.
No. Well, the only thing you and I have in common.
Yeah.
I mean, Wolf Jacobson, we sound like a law firm. Here's our motto. Ready? We've never lost a case, but we've never tried one either.
That's
Huh?
good.
Huh?
Want to
Thank
settle them.
Yeah, but no, you and I both had holes in one.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Why does that sound naughty?
I don't know.
Mine was in Tucson. Where was yours?
Mine was at the North Shore Country Club.
Of course it was.
Right before the senior tournament, and I did it in front of Dan Proft.
God, high five you.
Oh,
for
yeah,
that.
there we
Oh,
go.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to break in. He had to congratulate me.
Oh my God, he had to
It was
say
one of the
something
greatest
complimentary.
moments. One of the greatest moments of my life, because I got a hole in one in front of him.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that's good. Well,
It was
what
good.
wasn't a great moment for people's lives was principal training. So we've all heard about Barbara Bird Bennett. She pled
Sure we have.
guilty, to corruption charges.
Bennett. Yeah.
What was it?
Barbara Bird Bennett.
For taking kickbacks for that juicy no-bid contract between her former employer, Soups Academy. Now she's under investigation in Detroit when she was in charge of that school district. But their mission was to train principals. So I got on the phone. I met face-to-face with some principals because I wanted to know about this principal training. Well, first off, on Friday afternoons, no one wants to hear that they have to work on Saturday.
Hello, Peter. What's happening? I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great. Okay? Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm also going to need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday, too.
I love that. I'm doing this story just to play that drop. No, seriously though. So they had to come in on Saturday, and they encouraged principals right away to leverage partnerships to make money for a lack of funding for schools. They encouraged them to write grants, to talk to friends to see if they can donate
Leverage
to the
partnerships.
schools.
That sounds
That's
like
so-
extortion.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does. Okay. So then he went a second Saturday, and again, nobody likes to work on Saturdays.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that
Actually, they had to come in at 8 in the morning and sit in a conference hall all day Saturday. So he went for a second time. This is the second principal I talked to, and he said that it went well. It was better. He had great conversations with fellow principals. Amy, I learned a lot from them, and at the end of the session, the facilitator announced, I know I went off script and just let you guys talk, but I felt that that's what you needed today. So $20 million of our tax dollars went to having principals sit together in a room and just talk amongst themselves. And then, are you ready for this? Then they had warm and fuzzy time. This is what the facilitator did. When he had them sit in a circle and say something positive about one another and what they've learned from talking to each other. There's no criteria. They're not talking about curriculum or education. They're just strictly talking about, they're gathering. There was no supervision.
Are they talking about their pensions?
This is all fraudulent.
They should talk about their pensions.
So Barbara Bird Bennett, the bottom line, used 20 million taxpayer dollars taken directly from school budgets, from our school budget and everyone else's school, to line her own pockets. So actually, for the first time ever, I'm glad she's going to jail.
Are you or someone you know facing foreclosure, losing the family home? You'd be not alone. See, people, we are in the aftermath of what is being revealed to have been the greatest financial crime spree in history, perpetrated by the Wall Street investment banks smuggling and packaging mortgages, and continuing this day by the mortgage servicers that service the mortgages. I'm Lou Bridges. I have a law firm I put together. We defend foreclosure actions. We help people do strategic defaults, short sales, and modifications that include restructuring. Call us for a free consultation. We'll tell you what to look for in hiring a foreclosure defense attorney. We'll tell you some of your options. We'll give you a free consultation. But whatever you do, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
Call 224-513-1231 or visit FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. That's 224-513-1231 or FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. Get real answers from a real foreclosure defense law firm.
For a long time, Turnkey IT has been providing solutions to AM 560 business owners. It's a name that you've come to know and trust. Turnkey IT takes care of your technology and has a plan that fits your company's IT budget and network needs. Interested in moving some or all of your business to the cloud? Turnkey IT can migrate your network to Microsoft's Office 365. Need someone to call when you can't print, have lost a file, or need tech support? Turnkey IT's got you covered. Off-site backup? Check. On-site support? Check. Help desk support? Check. Turnkey IT staff is professional, friendly, punctual, and will solve all your technical problems immediately or even after normal business hours, all for a fixed monthly rate. Turnkey IT knows your network is truly the heartbeat of your company. Focus on your business and leave the technical stuff to the pros. Visit turnkey.pro today for a plan that fits your needs. That's turnkey.pro.
When you send your 16-year-old off in that car, you shouldn't be thinking about saving on car insurance premiums. You should be wondering if you have the most coverage you can afford. Heil & Heil Insurance is here to assist you with critical auto insurance questions like this. These are the questions you should be asking. Call Heil & Heil Insurance today at 847-866-7400 or visit them online at heilandheil.com. At Heil & Heil Insurance, they ask the difficult questions before you put your child behind the wheel. You can put a price on coverage, but not on peace of mind. Call Heil & Heil Insurance today at 847-866-7400 for a free consultation or visit their website at heilandheil.com. Let them help you drive with confidence. That's 847-866-7400. Quality of lifestyle can be preserved by managing risk. Let Heil & Heil help you manage yours. Call today, 847-866-7400.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, America's longest war continues. Brett Baer will join us from Special Report to talk to us about that and other items. And then how will the Cubs match up against the New York Mets? In case you're just waking up, the Chicago Cubs finally have an opponent. And then here's Bruce Wolf's favorite story, a big change coming to a major hotel. We'll explain. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good Friday morning to the one and only Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, we're watching a developing story, and Fox will have the very latest on this in a moment. 2 bombing attacks in Nigeria have killed dozens, both blamed on Boko Haram this morning. And emergency crews are out with pickaxes and shovels taking mud off an intersection of I-5 in L.A. following flash flooding, heavy rain, and mudslides. They are calling it a long-term closure. Again, Fox will have the latest on those stories. We're following 2 Chicago police officers, part of a sex trafficking investigation. Barbara Bird Bennett's work in Detroit is now under investigation. We'll give you the latest on that story. Cook County Clerk Dorothy Brown is now part of a federal investigation. And a missing Illinois hiker found alive in Michigan's UP. Cubs will face the Mets, a partly sunny and breezy day ahead. Complete look at your weather forecast after Fox News. WIND, Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. They have a muddy mess to clean up in Southern California.
I haven't seen a storm like this come through here in over 30 years.
That storm caused flash flooding and huge rock and mudslides, burying roads, including parts of Interstate 5 shut down north of L.A.
Right next to me is one of the cars that got stuck. There's another one to my right. Right behind me, another car. We've been told at least about 15 more cars along this road, some of them completely covered in mud. We'll be here for quite some time.
Gina Silva with Fox 11 TV. A geologist will be called in to check if hillsides are stable enough to let traffic flow. Hundreds remain evacuated in Texas. A wildfire that's burned down 34 homes is only a quarter contained.
It's bad. Roads are getting so we can't get down. Trees are falling. Power poles are falling.
Smithville Fire Chief James Elam, a DC-10 air tanker, will join that firefight today. Angry about Russian planes entering its airspace, Turkey takes action, shooting down what it says was an unidentified unresponsive drone. Fox News Radio's Jessica Gallagher live in our Middle East Bureau.
Dave, a senior U.S. defense official, confirms to Fox News that a Turkish jet shot down a Russian drone flying near Syria's border, adding it's unclear if the drone was in Turkey's airspace. Turkey's military says the aircraft was brought down after 3 warnings were ignored. Earlier this month, Ankara complained about the Kremlin violating its airspace more than once. Moscow maintains the intrusions were accidental. NATO Secretary General lashed out at Russia, saying the violations lasted too long to be accidental. Dave.
Jessica, European leaders are offering Turkey more money and other incentives to do more to keep Syrian refugees there so they don't keep flowing to Europe, which has been inundated. Donald Trump claims in a tweet this morning he won his fight against CNBC about the next Republican debate that he and Ben Carson threatened to boycott.
They want to make this an extra hour, and I think it's unfair to the viewers because it's too much.
Trump says CNBC's agreed to make it 2 hours. No comment from the network. That next debate's October 28th. Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
45 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 10, 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. 2 veteran Chicago police officers off the job this morning. They're being investigated as part of a child prostitution case. We get the latest details from AM 560's David Stewart.
The investigation by the FBI and the Police Internal Affairs Division started with child pornography images and now is looking at whether the 2 cops, both 20-year veterans, were connected to a website where a 14-year-old girl had allegedly been soliciting prostitution. The police department wouldn't discuss details of the investigation that's now reportedly several months old, but said that the 2 officers have been relieved of their police powers and reassigned to paid desk duty. They have not been charged. David Stewart, Chicago.
Former Chicago Public Schools CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett could be facing more legal issues tied to her time in Detroit at the public schools there from 2009 to 2011. During her time there, she was involved in awarding more than $3 million to companies owned by Gary Solomon and Thomas Vranos. Both are now accused here in Chicago of arranging a bribery and kickback scheme with Byrd Bennett during her time at CPS. Former House Speaker Dennis Hastert planning to plead guilty in a hush money case. His lawyers telling a federal judge yesterday that a plea agreement has been worked out. An indictment claims he lied to the FBI about millions of dollars worth of payments made to cover up past misconduct. Cook County Clerk Dorothy Brown in hot water after a federal investigation of her husband expanded to include her. The Sun-Times says agents have seized Brown's cell phone and subpoenaed some of her employees in their probe of Benton Cook III. Chicago sports. Blackhawks continue to stumble out of the gate. They fell to the Capitals 4-1 last night. Just an update on the Mets and Cubs series. Cubs shortstop Addison Russell will not play because of a strained left hamstring. The news, a service of Gerber Collision and Glass. Gerber Collision and Glass, with over 75 years of experience and a national lifetime warranty. It's no wonder Gerber is so highly recommended. Visit one of the nearly 60 Chicagoland locations or visit GerberCollision.com. 7:04, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity says even Obama can't defend Hillary's email scandal.
He even legitimized the email scandal by saying it was legitimate. Asked if he agrees with Bill and Hillary that it's not a big deal, he said, well, it's important for her to answer these questions to the satisfaction of the American public and let them make up their own minds. So Obama, let me interpret, threw her down the stairs last night.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm terrible with money. Apparently, a PhD in physics won't help me predict the trajectory of my own retirement. So I work with TIAA-CREF. You get quality, personalized advice no matter what your balance is. For me, they make investing as easy as Newtonian physics.
Advice for everyone. One more way TIAA-CREF is created to serve and built to perform. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA-CREF Individual and Institutional Services, LLC. This testimonial is an actor portrayal. Advice is subject to institutional plan rules. Investing involves risk. Individual results will vary.
Where do more than 2 million people go each day to do their best work? They go to Regis. Regis has beautifully designed tech-powered offices and co-working spaces with full admin support. Let Regis manage the details for you so you can focus on your business. Call Regis at 1-800-OFFICES to get up and running fast, without the hassle. Join the 2 million people who have found a better way to work. And right now, get a free office or meeting room for a day when you call 1-800-OFFICES. Regis, here to help you grow.
7:05 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. An earlier crash on the outbound Kennedy at Ogden has left big delays. It's jammed coming out of downtown to Ogden, then heavy Lawrence to Sayre. So it's 48 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Inbound 46. Now stop and go from Canfield all the way in. Big delays on the inbound Ryan after that incident. It's slow all the way in from the merge. 1 hour from 95th to downtown. Outbound fine at 15 minutes. I-57 now 40 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford 45. Eden's 23 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose. Outbound 21. The inbound Eisenhower, it's stop and go from Wolf all the way to the Circle. 1 hour and 7 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 34 minutes. Stevenson 55 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Northbound Tri-State has delays from Harlem to 87th, from the Stevenson to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. There's a vehicle fire farther north past Russell Road on the northbound side. Adams Tollway, the delays are from Beverly to 59, then Elmhurst to Lee. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solutions provider. Here is meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Freeze warning in effect from 11 p.m. this evening until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Breezy with partial sunshine today, high of 52. Patchy clouds tonight with a low 31. Sunshine tomorrow, but chilly with a high 49 and a low tomorrow night of 34. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
44 at O'Hare, 49 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Bruce Wolf sitting in this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the New American Funding Show, walking you through stress-free mortgage options. Sunday afternoons at 1 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Today, President Obama did an about-face on his previous pledge to bring home all but an embassy security force by the end of next year. Instead, he announced there will be at least 5,500 American troops in Afghanistan into 2017, beyond the end of his term in office.
I've decided to maintain our current posture of 9,800 troops in Afghanistan through most of next year, 2016.
Lawyers for Dennis Hastert told a federal judge in Chicago today that he has agreed to change his plea to guilty. The former speaker, now 73, was accused of evading federal banking rules and making payments of nearly $2 million in hush money to cover up past misconduct. He was also charged with lying to the FBI about it.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good Friday morning. Welcome back to the Dan and Amy show. Filling in for Dan Proft this morning, Bruce Wolf. Thanks, Bruce, for coming in.
It is great to be here.
Yeah, big day. Denny Hastert going to plead out. We've got the Chicago Cubs flying east instead of west in their push for the pennant race. And President Obama, well, it's going to be up to the next president to decide when to end the war in Afghanistan.
I've decided to maintain our current posture of 9,800 troops in Afghanistan through most of next year, 2016.
So it seems to be a war that simply won't end.
He loves the quagmire.
Yes.
Giggity, giggity.
Well, let's begin there with our good friend Brett Baer. in charge of special report at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. Central Time. I watch it every time on Fox News Channel. Good morning, Brett. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well.
So will more time and more troops make a difference in Afghanistan?
Well, that's the question everybody's asking, specifically about the number of troops. The president wants the number now, 9,800, to stay in place through much of 2016 and then driving it down to 5,500 into 2017 and beyond for the next president to make the decision. I doubt that he makes the drawdown eventually before he leaves. I don't think that's going to happen, just looking at the environment on the ground in Afghanistan. And, the people I talk to in the military say if with 9,800 U.S. troops, Taliban fighters are taking over whole cities in Afghanistan, 5,500 probably isn't the number either.
So, Brett, yesterday I was watching Special Report. You had the interview with former Secretary of Defense Gates, and he said the president's heart was never in this. He'd make like one speech in 2 years. He's like Bernie Sanders and Hillary and the rest of the Democrats. They want to, bolster America. They don't even understand our foreign entanglements. And then the panel kind of echoed that sentiment of Gates Charles Krauthammer saying he just doesn't want a situation where it's like Vietnam in April of 75 and you got the helicopters getting everybody out of there. But if you read like Tom Rogan in National Review yesterday, he was like praising the president for saying, maybe he's seen the light here. And, we actually have good fun with that because you could say, what about the status of forces in Iraq as well? So which side do you fall on?
Well, I just cover it, but I can tell you what everybody's saying in Washington. And there are people like Mac Thornberry, the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, who say, listen, anytime this administration makes a decision that, in his words, is not awful on foreign policy, they celebrate at the House Armed Services Committee. I think that there are more people saying this was the right move. It took, some stomach for this president in particular, who wants to end 2 wars, to be able to turn his decision around and listen to Lester Holt and every other anchor say an about face on Afghanistan.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we heard all the hyperbole yesterday, but. A lot of veterans are coming forward and saying there's no assurance, there's no clear plan. I just want to play this for you. It's from Paul Reinkoff.
There's no assurance this is going to work. There doesn't seem to be a clear plan for the future.
And all we do know is that, look, we've spent $1 trillion. It's been 14 years and more than 2,300 American lives lost. Have you spoken with any of the soldiers, family members who've lost loved ones in Afghanistan?
Yeah, they're frustrated. They're just, a lot of them say, hey, listen, either you do it all and you say, let's make this thing happen, or don't do it and pull them all out. The half measure is really the thing that kills the most because, you're talking about embassy security, you're talking about force protection, you're talking about training and equipping Afghans who are really a weak force after all of this time. And there's just a lot of frustration. It's similar in Syria and policy about what we're doing there. It's the half steps. The doing the plan based on the numbers, not on the end game. And that's what you hear most from commanders who have been in the field and who talk to people who are there.
So, Brett, Trump is tweeting this morning that he's used his leverage, didn't fire anybody at CNBC, but he got him down to 2 hours as opposed to the 3-hour debate because that's boring, and he doesn't want them to just be able to sell commercial time. And, I just love the Trump phenomenon. I'm a conservative, but, and I know that conservative intelligentsia, your Krauthammers and Kevin Williamson and Jonah Goldberg, they don't like him. But there's something about him. I can even tell that when you sit across from him, you got to like the guy, and he's galvanizing. He's galvanizing. And, I'm even ready to compromise my views on eminent domain because of the guy. He's seducing me. He's seducing me.
Of course, yeah. Listen, he is injected an excitement into the race. There's no doubt about it. I'm not sure all of the 24 million people who watched our last debate were because of Donald Trump, but I think there was a good increase because of Donald Trump. I think he is clearly entertaining on the stump. He is refining. He's evolving as a candidate. And I think he's here to stay. he did have leverage against CNBC, who did want to just use 3 hours to get a lot more ads like CNN did. You know, if CNN, the last debate, had stopped at 2 hours, they would have had the most viewers for a debate, non-sports event, but instead they went to 3 hours, and they had 23 million instead of our 24 million. Not that we're keeping track. We're keeping track.
You do have to keep score
race.
because I love the Fox News debate so much more than CNN.
Brett Baer is worried about CNN. You're the king, Brett.
No, I'm talking about debate rating.
Yes, debate
rating.
It's you.
No,
it's
it's
Megyn
debate
Kelly.
ratings.
It's Martha McCallum. It's all you people.
So Ben Carson and Donald Trump teaming up together, I mean, they have enough power to change the rules, right?
They do. I mean, you talk about leverage. That's leverage. You don't have those two guys showing up. It's not a debate. I mean, they are way ahead of the field nationally and in every state poll.
Right,
so they had leverage.
So speaking of debates, did you obviously you watched the Democratic debate? How long did you last before you were bored?
Well,
Or
I
maybe
watched
you
the whole
weren't
thing.
bored. I'm sorry.
I was, I'm a junkie, so everything was being said. I was kind of interested in. I thought Anderson Cooper did a great job. I think there were a couple issues that didn't come up: Afghanistan, ISIS,
national
that
debt. National debt. They never talked about.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of pushback when Bernie Sanders was listing all the things that he should that should happen. You know, that had price tags.
And remember, Brett, when Bernie said that about paid family leave, he said a woman should stay home with her child. That's sexist. He's a Jewish redneck sexist, who wants guns. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And he can't dance. He was on Ellen DeGeneres yesterday, and I'm like, stop dancing, old white man. Did you see that?
But
Brett?
you know what? There is some phenomena about Bernie Sanders that is also transcended, kind of like Trump. I mean, it is. He has a loyal following, and I don't think he did anything to harm that in that debate.
All right. So the Democratic debate, was it a tryout for a possible running mate for Hillary Clinton? Or any of those guys going to make it? Or maybe she's just going to focus on Julian Castro? Because I did notice she was in San Antonio with the current HUD secretary yesterday.
Yeah, he's definitely, if she gets the nomination, he's definitely on the short list.
You know who
young, up-and-comer, Hispanic.
I also heard when I was at the produce aisle in the Jewels on Southport there in Chicago, and a guy came up to me, he's like, Jacobson, I just want you to know that Rahm Emanuel might be her vice presidential running mate. And he said, if not that, he's going to leave the mayoral office to take a cabinet position.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't see that at all.
I don't see it. I think she's probably, if she's the nominee, she probably has Illinois, I'm pretty sure.
Brett, did you see Bill Kristol's tweet about Trump and Jim Webb as the vice president? And I would personally like to see Webb administer the death penalty to anybody on death row. I mean, that guy is unbelievable.
Yeah. You know what? He's got a great resume, and he's got a past as former Navy secretary, and clearly he is not fitting in with the way the Democratic Party is going, which is further to the left and more progressive.
Brett, did you watch the President's Cup?
Of course.
It was great.
Wasn't it?
Who's focusing on golf? We have baseball
but the
in
President's
October
Cup
in
was,
Chicago. Hello?
Brett, it was an unexpected, beautiful thing because normally the U.S. routes them, but it was great.
It was exciting. But more importantly, your Cubs, who are now my Cubs.
Blah, blah.
Because my wife is like, the family's in Chicago. And
weren't you married
Barrington.
at Holy Family?
I was, downtown.
Oh, you were?
I wasn't invited. No.
You were going to be the flower girl, Bruce.
Yes, that's next time.
All right, well, Brett Baer, thank you so much. We always have a pleasure having you on our show, and we always watch you on Fox News, host of Special Report, 5 o'clock our time. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks. And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, be careful when you ask a stranger for help. We'll explain, but first, here is your long, detailed forecast.
Today, it's going to be partly sunny, breezy and cooler, a high of 52. Tonight, patchy clouds and cold. There will be a freeze, low of 31. Tomorrow, sunshine, but chilly, a high of 49. I have a 9 o'clock tea time tomorrow. At White Deer Run. I don't know. going to be delayed or I'm not going to play. Low tomorrow night, 34. Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy and warmer, a high of 58. Low Sunday night of 45. Monday, mostly sunny, windy and warmer, a high of 70. Low Monday night of 55. Tuesday, the day the Chicago National League Ball Club is hosting the playoff game against the Mets. It'll be breezy and warm with times of clouds and sun, a high of 72. Low Tuesday night, 54. That's pretty good baseball weather. It's good enough weather for, let's see, who's going to pitch Game 3? Let's see. That's to be determined, and so is the time of the game as well. And now it's time for a check of traffic. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Bruce. The inbound Ryan is a mess after earlier crashes. It's a full hour from 95th to downtown. Outbound fine at 15 minutes. The Kennedy inbound now 52 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 33. The Edens is 34 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose. Outbound just 20. The Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. An outbound 36 minutes. Stevenson, 55 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Big delays on I-57 and the Bishop Ford, running 40 to 45 minutes from I-80 to the Ryan. Northbound Tri-State stop and go, 115th to 87th. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Then it's slow from Old 41 to before the Wisconsin line. There's a vehicle fire near Russell Road. 2 left lanes are blocked. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com, Traffic Center.
All right, you've always heard me talk about MyPillow, and I have to tell you what Mike Lindell did for our family yesterday. My mom, a week ago today, had open heart surgery. Sorry. And she had a valve replaced, and she's in St. Louis because she couldn't get the operation done in Arizona. And I talk to her every day. I feel so guilty that I'm not there. But yesterday, she was in so much pain, and I'm like, Mom, and I could just hear it on the phone. What will make you feel better? She's like, Amy, I forgot to bring my pillow with me. Right. I'm not kidding you. Okay. So I emailed Mike Mindell. I told him the story. I said, unfortunately, she didn't bring her pillow with her. Can we please help my mom out? So you know what they did? Right away, they jumped into action. They got a MyPillow to her at the hospital right away. And I'm like, I'll pay you anything, but she needs it tonight so that she can sleep. And thank you so much to Mike Lindell and the great people at MyPillow, because really, I mean, I always talk that how I'm addicted to mine, but everybody in my family has MyPillows, and we can't sleep without it. So if you want to get a MyPillow and I can stop crying, go to MyPillow.com, type Amy in the promo code, and you'll get 2 pillows for the price of one, so you could give one as a gift to somebody who's in need and keep one for yourself. MyPillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
There are 2 kinds of pain. Pain that goes away and the worst kind, chronic pain. If you suffer from chronic pain, life is not complete and it can be miserable. Unfortunately, most people use narcotics that mask the pain. You need to find the source of the chronic pain and get relief.
This is Dr. Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. We're serious players in the management of pain, and our team are national leaders, as well as being educators in the treatment of pain. We will work with you to diminish or eliminate your pain and help you get your life back. You know, there's a nationwide narcotics epidemic, and people are too quick to mask over chronic pain instead of looking for the cause and treating or eliminating the pain. Contact us. We will help you.
Go to mypainchicago.com. Call and make an appointment with some of the best pain people in the nation, located here in Chicago. mypainchicago.com. You or someone you know suffers in the suffering of chronic pain. mypainchicago.com. Let's make you pain-free.
My name is Dr. Howard. I've recommended Balance of Nature for over 15 years because of the excellent results I see in my patients. Balance of Nature doesn't make any claims of treating or curing any particular disease, but I think the results speak for themselves.
The gospel truth about it is that the thing I'm most excited about is that after having my gallbladder out 3 years ago, I had constant pain in my side that was something that they couldn't attribute to anything other than probably a poor diet. Since I've been on these supplements, is really making a difference in my life. I feel better. I have no pain.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
Your audiovisual experience is one that's supposed to be enjoyable. If your home or office lacks the big-time performance you really need, it's time to be shocked with options from Sound Design. Sound Design has the technical background to build it all. They know the value of seeing a project through to the end, and Sound Design will stick with you until you're satisfied, even post-job. Home theaters, office video, and sound design. Sure, you can go order equipment from a big box store, but then what? Yikes. Sound Design knows they set the industry standard. This is a company that will take a potential new customer to a current customer space to show off their handiwork. That's why people rave about audio and visual solutions from Sound Design. Be sure to get a demo of the Bang & Olufsen speakers where sophisticated, sleek design meets amazing sound and function. You can visit sounddesigninc.com, but if you really want expert answers to your questions, call 630-548-7000. That's 630-548-7000. Sound Design, where quality service and installation makes the difference.
AM 560, The Answer.
Crazy glue in tube or pen. Crazy glue.
Nice. So this woman in Florida, she was outside and she was standing next to a guy with a leaf blower, and apparently some debris fell in her eye and she couldn't see. And you know, sometimes when you ask strangers for help, like, can you help me out? I can't see, and there's some Visine in my bag. Can you get out the Visine?
Mm-hmm.
So what she thought was Visine, he put in her hand, and then she dropped it in her right eye, and it wasn't Visine.
Katie, you say that someone was throwing some debris around with a leaf blower last week?
Yes, and something blew into my eye. Screamed for someone else to get eye drops out of my purse, and they brought super glue and poured it in my eye.
So glue went right into your eye and immediately sealed your eye shut?
As soon as I felt it burn, I closed my eye and screamed, called 911.
She called 911 and she went to the doctor, but she doesn't have insurance. She's a single mother of two.
Obamacare doesn't cover that?
No, apparently not. And so she needs help because she cannot get her eye open. She's tried hot compresses.
She still has a good eye.
She tried picking. Stop it. Oh, she's a pirate. Arrgh. Shiver me timbers. Let's just get her a patch and a
glue in my eye.
Give her a patch and a hook. No, but the lady needs help.
So you can't get any more treatment at this moment?
Not until he receives payment.
So you don't know where to turn at this point. And your eye is actually glued shut. Can you show us one more time what you're talking about?
Sure. We want to see this.
Visualize it with one eye.
Oh my gosh, that looks so painful. I can tell you're in pain.
Yes, and I'm
So you don't know where to turn at this point? Have you thought about going back to the emergency room?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to do
Probably a hospital tonight.
Yeah, I think you need some treatment. So as you see, her eyelid
She's
is
going
glued
live.
shut with nail glue, super glue, right to her face. She can't get her eye open, and she says she's having trouble getting medical treatment.
Amy, I'm Lionel Hutz, and here's what I've got. How about his class action against
seriously,
super glue? This happened before, so they know that this kind of thing happens. There should be a warning on every super glue, crazy glue, whatever it is, product that says, do not mistake this for eye drops.
Yeah, this happened
I
twice.
think we've got a class action.
Okay, Wolf Jacobson Law Firm. It's happened twice in Arizona when people mistook a glue bottle for an eye drop bottle, but also in Canada, a woman's son's eye was glued shut when a receptionist with no medical training improperly applied medical glue for a cut into her son's eye. That happened in 2008. Now, the good news, the update to this story is we have just learned breaking news this morning on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Right.
There's a doctor who has come forward. She's going to go in to a procedure to scrape the glue off her cornea. Yes. And the doctor says that she will not experience any vision loss.
Can he do a little eye work on her as well?
A little nip and tuck? Well, we'll see.
You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps? That's what happens.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
My name is David Hochberg, and I'm Vice President of Lending at Pearl Mortgage. That's right, I'm now Vice President of Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. I'm the same guy that's provided listeners with honest advice and outstanding customer service for the past 13 years. The only thing that's changed is where I work. When you needed help refinancing after the Big Corner Bank messed up your loan, even though you've heard thousands of my ads telling you not to waste your time at the Big Corner Bank, you called me and I helped you. If you would like to talk to me about a Mortgage, please give me a call at 312-751-1333. That's 312-751-1333. Email me at david@pearldavid.com. That's david@PERLDavid.com. Or visit my website, am560david.com. 312-751-1333. Pearl Mortgage is an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358, licensed by DBO under California RMLA and MLS 19186, pearlmortgage.com licensing.
With the change of season and the cooler weather comes many things added to your to-do list. Watch football, rake leaves, consume more cider donuts than needed, clean the gutters, make sure the furnace is ready for the Chicago cold. But there is one key item missing from your to-do list: scheduling your garage door and opener checkup. That's right. Every other part of your home gets the care and attention that is required for proper performance, but your garage door is taken for granted. Before it's too late and you find yourself with a garage door that forgets how to open and close, schedule your garage door and opener checkup with House of Doors, 708-485-5000. That's 708-485-5000. Or online at houseofdoorsinc.com. Think about how much you rely on your garage door. Now is the time. Take care of it with House of Doors Garage Door Checkup, 708-485-5000. Online at houseofdoorsinc.com, where quality starts right at the door, with an A rating from Angie's List.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the Cubs flying east instead of flying west. In case you're just waking up, we'll be going against the New York Mets in our push for the pennant race. Al Yellen, managing editor of BleedCubbyBlue.com, will join us. And then there's a big change coming to a major hotel chain. Bruce Wolf is going to have all those juicy details. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say hello again to Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. Sunshine, 44 degrees. California police say they expect a mud-covered interstate to reopen the traffic this afternoon. Interstate 5 north of L.A. closed late Thursday after flash flood debris blocked that roadway, stranding hundreds of vehicles and forcing motorists to take refuge on top of the roofs of their cars. Excavators are scooping and hauling away thousands of feet of mud, with the cleanup continuing this morning. Turkey's military says it's not clear who owns that drone aircraft that it shot down today after it strayed into Turkish airspace. A military statement says Turkish jets shot down the aircraft after it ignored warnings to leave. Nearly 50 have been killed by bombs in the past few hours in the Nigerian city of Maiduguri. 4 women suicide bombers blew themselves up early this morning. They were challenged by soldiers as they tried to enter the city, killing 18. Hours earlier, 2 bombs exploded near a mosque, killing 30. White House spokesman Josh Earnest defending the president's decision to keep U.S. forces in Afghanistan.
There's important work that needs to be done, both in terms of continuing our counterterrorism operations, continuing to build the capacity of Afghan National Security Forces.
The president announcing nearly 10,000 U.S. troops will remain in Afghanistan in non-combat roles through 2017. 2 Chicago police officers are relieved of duties while authorities determine if they were involved in the sex trafficking of a girl. The Tribune says both have been reassigned to paid desk duty. Former House Speaker Dennis Hastert is planning to plead guilty in a hush money case. His lawyers telling a federal judge yesterday that a plea deal has been worked out. Chicago sports, NHL, Blackhawks fall to the Capitals 4-1. Mets and Cubs will play beginning on Saturday night. John Lester, the start. Cubs shortstop Addison Russell will not play in the series because of a strained hamstring. The news is a service of the Milwaukee Airport, with all the major U.S. airlines, including Southwest, Delta, United, American, U.S. Airways, Alaska, Frontier, OneJet, and Air Canada. Milwaukee is the O'Hare alternative. Fly MKE.com today. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager always puts tragedy in perspective.
I'd like a politician on the left, any Democrat, any activist for more gun laws, to be asked this question. What do you think is more likely to reduce murders by firearm? Not by knives even, but by firearms. More gun laws or more fathers?
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer is the top choice of doctors and nurses nationwide and should be yours. With one scan to the forehead, Exergen Temporal Scanner provides an accurate temperature, stress-free. Available at Walgreens.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Willie Wilson, candidate for President of the United States. As President, I promise to reform our prison system and fix it once and for all.
Paid for by Willie Wilson 2016.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Cornerstone National Bank believes trust, service, and relationship is the foundation of a business banking partnership. Cornerstone National Bank and Trust Company, where you belong. Visit cornerstonenb.com. Member FDIC.
Mike Rowe here in the home of Cindy Jennings, where she's doing a, what do you call that, Cindy?
My 1 hour happy dance.
Yeah. You see, Cindy, being a smart and surprisingly sure-footed homeowner, called 1 hour the minute her furnace started acting up. Cindy knows that with 1 hour in the house, her problem will be expertly diagnosed, and her professional 1 hour technician will be fully equipped to do the job right.
That's right.
For any heating need, call 855-1-HOUR and get happy.
I'm twerking.
Yes, you are, and it's perfect for radio. Each independent franchise is licensed in its respective state or county.
7:35. Let's get an update on the roads in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
On Ryan is really messy thanks to earlier crashes. It's a full hour from 95th to downtown. It's slow all the way in. Outbound fine at 15 minutes. Edens is 34 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 19. The Kennedy, now an hour and 2 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 33 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes from Thorndale to the Loop, outbound 36 minutes. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 37. The northbound Tri-State has delays, 115th to 87th. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, and from around Old 41 to before the Wisconsin line, there's a vehicle fire blocking 2 left lanes. The other tollway's pretty heavy too. Traffic, service of Fresh Time. Fresh Time Farmers Market. Healthy food, healthy values. This week, tender asparagus is only $1.27 a pound, and fresh salmon fillets only $3.97 a pound. Grand opening prices valid at all 7 Chicagoland locations, and now in Bucktown, Lincoln Park, Crystal Lake, and Naperville. FreshTime.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solutions provider. Partly sunny, breezy. A cool day ahead. We'll top out at 52. Patchy clouds, cold overnight. There will be a hard freeze, especially in the western suburbs. Low 31. Sunshine, chilly tomorrow. High 49. 44 at O'Hare. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Tasty Catering. Companies trust Tasty Catering's amazing staff and delicious menus for their holiday parties. Visit tastycatering.com today.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Should we sing it yet now? Oh, no. Wait till the end of the show today. You're going to want to hear something spectacular. Not only are we going to end the show on time, but we're going to have a treat for our listeners. Thanks so much for joining us. Amy Jacobson, Bruce Wolf, filling in for Dan Proft. Hi, how are you over there? Big news last night. Did you watch the game? Game 5 of the NLDS between the Mets and Dodgers.
Yeah, first 6 or 7 innings, then I had to go to sleep for this job.
Oh, yeah.
Did Mets
I watched
win?
a little bit, too. Yes, the Mets won 3-2. I was sad because when I went to sleep, the Dodgers were winning, and I had some connections in L.A., but now I've got nothing. But let's talk about the matchup, and I'm having some problems here. David, can you take him there? Thank you. Al Yellen joins us. He's managing editor at bleedcubbyblue.com. Thanks, Alan, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what did you think? Are you pleased that we're going to be taking on the Mets instead of the Dodgers? And if so, why?
Oh, heck yes, because, I'm of the generation that remembers 1969. And so, basically I think we owe them one. So this is a good matchup. It also, in baseball terms, I think it's a better matchup for the Cubs. I was kind of a little afraid of having to face Zach Greinke and Clayton Kershaw in the championship series. So I think the Cubs match up better with the Mets.
And now DeGrom, who pitched yesterday, when's he available? For what game? I can't add all the days up.
Well, I'd say probably not until at least Game 3. So I would probably expect him to start the first game at Wrigley on Tuesday.
Okay.
And yeah, speaking of starting, we learned yesterday that Jake Arrieta is not going to be the pitcher for Game 1 of the series. And why did Joe Madden go with John Lester?
I think this is a good idea. I think Jake said after the wild card game that he was kind of running out of gas. He's thrown more innings this year than he ever has in his professional career. So giving him an extra day off is not a bad idea. And also, if you had held John Lester back for Game 2, that would have been almost too much rest for him. So either way, these two guys are both set up to throw twice in a 7-game series.
When that wild card game was like the shakiest shutout. I know that sounds oxymoronic, but it was like the shakiest shutout that he had this year. He was a little bit off in the wild card game, and then of course the wind was blowing out the other day.
It was crazy.
And he
wind.
even admitted. He actually admitted the other day, that he choked, that he let emotions get a hold of him, and that you can't do that.
Well, I think that's right for a baseball player. I mean, it's kind of amazing that he admitted it. And even though it wasn't the kind of start we got used to seeing from Jake Arrieta, I mean, thinking about that, he's done things that no one has done in the second half of this year. He wasn't really bad in that game. He just wasn't the Jake that we were used to seeing for the last couple of months.
But he's still the ace of the staff. I mean, he's had the most sensational season I have ever seen a pitcher have.
I agree. I agree
There's
with that
nothing
completely.
like it. Nothing
Yeah,
like
right.
it. And, I could understand if maybe he wanted to take the first game off as an homage to Sandy Koufax taking off the first game of the World Series in 65, 50 years ago because of Yom Kippur. But other than that, I see...
Well, Jake's not Jewish, so he doesn't get that.
And he's not going to convert to Judaism,
No.
Bruce, so give up the dream.
Do you know what Drysdale said when he was pulled from Game 1 of the game against the Twins in 65
I know
by
that.
Walter Alston? So Drysdale's
God.
pitching in favor, and Koufax is taking the day off. What does Drysdale say to Walter Alston, Al?
Well, because he also got hit really hard, and Walter Alston came to take him out of the game, and he said, "I bet you wish I was Jewish too."
Hi-yo!
So, Al, listen, do you see this going to all 7 games, or what are you expecting?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Mets have pretty good pitching, young pitching. They're a much better team than when the Cubs played in the regular season. The Cubs won all 7 games that the two teams played. But David Wright was not, he was injured at the time, and the Mets picked up Jonas Cespedes, who had a great second half for them. The Mets are a much better team. I mean, this could go the whole way. I think in the end, the Cubs are a better team and will win this series. Did I just say
too.
that? The Cubs are going to win this?
Yes, and they're going to win the World Series, too, aren't they, Al? And then Cub fans like you will stop fetching, and it'll be over with and done, and take your World Series already so you can stop being the big complainers.
Well, I don't want to complain about it. I'm not complaining about this. I'm just enjoying this ride. I mean, we've seen things, as I said, that we've never seen before. And so, why not take it all the way to the conclusion?
But you think about it. Last year, bottom of the National League Central divisions, only 73 wins, and now we might possibly be going to the World Series. I mean, we're going to the Championship Series. Who's to give credit to? I mean, Theo Epstein, Joe Madden. Who should get our thanks?
Well, everybody gets credit here. I mean, Theo and his executives have put a great team on the field. They've made the right moves before the season and during the season. And I think, the best move that they made, and it was a fortunate one because they didn't expect it to happen, was having Joe Madden just dropped in their laps.
Like Ricky Renteria couldn't have done it with Jake Arrieta having one of the greatest seasons in the history of baseball. Come on, Al.
Well, come on. I mean,
on.
Obviously Joe Madden isn't responsible for what Jake Arrieta did on the field, but Joe Madden is responsible for pushing the right buttons, putting the right players in the right spots, not being afraid to take guys out of the lineup. I mean, look, he benched Starlin Castro. What does Starlin Castro do? He didn't sulk. He worked hard. He came back, and he had a great 2 months.
That's terrific.
Would that have happened under Rick Renteria? I mean, I don't know.
Well, the Schwarber baseball, it's sitting up there on the Budweiser sign, and I like that, but why didn't they put the remains of, like, Gabby Hartnett there, too? So making, like, a nice tourist attraction.
The Cubs want to start their own traditions.
Why don't they have Grant DePorter of Harry Carey's restaurant, who, has never failed to, he exploded the Harry Carey baseball.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah,
I
of course
ate
you
it.
were.
I took a bite of it.
Me too.
I flossed with it. And you don't want to know what else I did.
I bit it before you did.
Anyway, okay, Topper.
So why don't they just get these Cubs white W flags, tie them together, make a rope so that Grant DePorter can shimmy up there and grab the baseball, and it could all be on ESPN. Is that a good idea?
Let him shimmy up. I don't think I'd want to do it.
Yeah, please. So you've got hot bats. I mean, but we haven't played since Tuesday. Is that going to be in our favor or detrimental?
I don't think it matters. I mean, at this stage of the season, I'm sure these guys could use a rest. They all seem loose and relaxed. They were, Anthony Rizzo yesterday during the workout day was fooling around pretending he was Jose Bautista and doing bat flips. I mean, these guys are just out there having fun.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the things that Joe Madden has done best. Remember he said, never let the pressure exceed the pleasure. And he's got these guys just going out there and understanding that, yes, they have a job to do, and yes, they have to work hard at it, but they also need to have fun.
Oh, and they should all dress like women for Game 1 of the NLCS.
Or in onesies or something.
Oh, I love the
like
onesies. Bring back the onesies.
Speaking of the bat flipping, there should be certain rules on that, right?
No.
You only do it like if you have a walk-off homer in Game 7 of the World Series or something like that.
I mean, I don't think you need to have specific rules against it, but think about the situation. That inning had been totally crazy.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the game is tied. You're an inning away from deciding who's going on to the next round. And the team's best player hits the second most important home run in the history of the franchise. Well, I think he's entitled to do a little bat flip.
And if it happens with the Cubs in Game 7 of the World Series, when Bryant flips the bat, it's going to flip over end and go off into space like the monolith from 2001.
And we'll never see it again.
We won't see it anymore, Al.
But crazy things have happened. I mean, I'm trying to stop myself from thinking about 2003 when we gave up 8 runs in the 8th inning. And, I mean, who knew that nothing catastrophic is going to happen like that, right, Al?
This is different. This is a different team.
Okay.
History is history. It's over. We're moving on. These guys don't remember that. Some of them are so young. I mean, these guys were in middle school when that happened.
Oh my gosh, really? I'm
Yeah,
so old,
I mean,
so I can babysit these kids.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
what is the average age of these kids?
You've got Schwarber's 22, Javier Baez is 22. The old man of this group is Rizzo, and he's only 26.
And if the Cubs blow it, they'll all age 15 years. But anyway.
Wow, so they all, think about this. I mean, to put it in political terms, they all hypothetically could be under Obamacare.
Certainly.
Because 26 and younger, you can still be on your parents' health care insurance.
Theoretically.
Now, are any of them on Obamacare?
I couldn't answer that question.
No, Chris Bryant can't even get an appointment to see a doctor.
Oh,
anymore.
yeah, right.
He's on Medicare.
Addison Russell, who won't play in this series, unfortunately, because he's injured, is just barely old enough to drink. He just turned 21 earlier this year.
Wow, that's right. So we can't. Hey, if any of them need a babysitter, can you offer my services?
I'll put the word out.
You don't really want to babysit them, though, do you?
No, we
Amy?
could play Xbox or Wii
Sure.
or something like that.
No,
Mortal Kombat.
There you go. There you go. Well, Al, I'm
thank
happy
you so
for
much.
you.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for having
thanks for filling in for me for Athlete's Feats 35 years ago.
It
I
was my
appreciate
pleasure
it.
then.
That was great. Thanks, Al.
Wow, that's
Okay.
inside baseball.
Yeah.
Al Yellen, managing editor of BleedCubbyBlue.com, joining us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Bruce Wolf is going to tell you about a big change coming to a major hotel chain. But first, here's your forecast. Looks like the sun's up.
Today,
and it's out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well,
I'm sorry
for-
Yeah. Today, partly sunny, breezy and cooler, a high of 52. Tonight, patchy clouds and cold. There will be a freeze, low of 31. Tomorrow, sunshine, but chilly, high of 49. Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy and warmer. Tuesday, day of the Cub first game at Wrigley Stadium, as Jeff Gordon would call it. Breezy and warm with times of cloud and sun, a high of 72. Low Tuesday night, 54. Good baseball weather. Now it's time for the traffic, brought to you by Salerno Butter Cookies. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thank you, Bruce / Cliff. It's heavy on the inbound expressways. Eden's delay started at 2 40 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 25 to Kennedy. Now an hour and 6 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. The express lanes only save you about 5. Outbound, it's 31 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour and 20 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 39 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. The Ryan, actually a little better, 50 minutes. 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, stop and go 95th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, Adams Tollway delays, Barrington to Meacham, and also heavy approaching Lee Veterans Memorial. Slow Boughton to the Reagan Tollway and Lake to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com, Traffic Center.
I wish this bag under my eye would just go away. Well, if that sounds like you each and every day, well, guess what? You're not alone. Bags and puffiness under the eyes are a problem for millions of American men. That's right, you men and women. Until now, let me see your eyes.
Just put crazy glue in it, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Introducing the new Genucel serum with plant stem cell technology from Chamonix. I've been using it for 3 months. I love it. My sister uses it. She looks terrific. Her skin is glowing. The wrinkles gone. Let me see your bags. Do you have bags and puffiness?
I got bags under my bags.
Yeah, your bags have bags. Well,
Thank you.
Got a solution
Can
for
it do
that.
anything for my neck?
Yes, and with its instant effects, you can see results in the first 12 hours or your money back, Bruce. I guarantee it. So call now and save big on Genucel's risk-free introductory offer. No, seriously, if I give it to you, will you use it, Bruce?
Sure.
Okay, I've got some. I'll give it to you, and then you report back to me if it's erasing your lines. And if you're not like Bruce and you have to buy it yourself and get a free trial, you should call this number, 800-525-8323. That's 800-525-8323. Call now, and you'll get the amazing Esotique face cream as a special gift simply by placing your order. 800-525-8323. 800-525-8323.
So, I'm retiring today.
Freedom!
I hate goodbyes, so I've hired singers to follow me around and bid my coworkers farewell.
It's John's last day.
Okay, let's get started. Here's Tom.
Your pranks were amazing, despite what HR says.
Next, Susan.
Your homemade cookies blew his mind and diet.
Finally, Dave.
You never judged him for his popcorn burning.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you guys.
Ready to give your swan song at work? The Mutual Fund Store can help. We'll sit down with you one-on-one to talk about your goals. Then we'll put a plan in place to help get you on track. Finally, we'll keep a close eye on your account to make sure you stay on track. Discover how within reach your retirement could be for you with a free portfolio review and consultation.
Hi, I'm Matt Personette with the Mutual Fund Store in Chicagoland. Call me at 888-498-3636 or visit mutualfundstore.com and let's talk about your financial goals today.
This is Dan Proft with an Upstream Idea, brought to you in part by the Illinois Policy Institute. In the brave new world of big data, sometimes we forget that politics is about people's lives. When we forget this fundamental truth, people without political clout get hurt, and all of us suffer a loss of dignity in the process. And so the number for your consideration in this installment of Illinois by the Numbers is 47. 47th is where Illinois ranks nationally in the provision of services to persons with developmental disabilities. Providing or not providing for those who need state support through no fault of their own is a mirror that reflects our humanity, our moral health. The result is families who have a family member with a developmental disability have fled Illinois just as entrepreneurs have to live in, well, more civilized states. This is happening on our watch. As an Illinois resident, this is happening on my watch. We are all culpable, and now none of us can any longer pretend not to know. For more ideas like this, visit upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, yeah. Work it for me, Bruce. Yeah. Oh, good morning. Welcome back to Chicago's Morning Answer. My mind is in the gutter. Amy Jacobson here. Bruce Wolf filling in for Dan Proft.
Hello again, everybody.
You came in early this morning. You know what? I can't see you over there. Can you stand up? I'll stand up if you stand up.
said Rahm Emanuel. By the way, Rahm is going to sit in my lap in Game 3.
Sure. Oh, for the game? Okay.
At Wrigley Stadium.
Yeah, it's called Wrigley Field.
Well,
Okay.
if Jeff Gordon of NASCAR thought it was Wrigley Stadium, then so do I.
Okay. All right. So you came in early this morning. Like, I've got a story. I have to tell you about this. This is just awful. So.
This just in.
Yes.
Animal store. No. The Hyatt Hotel Corporation, one of the country's largest hotel operators, has announced that it will pull all adult entertainment from its guest rooms
Excuse
worldwide.
me?
Yeah.
Is this the Pritzkers?
Squeeze me.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the Pritzkers want to go
I think they
clean
kinda
right
own it.
now.
Yeah, they wanna-
They're worried about it. You know, it Rex Penny's term as the Commerce Secretary. No, the reason is the same reason Playboy's getting out of the nudity business, because the internet, is easy access. You can download, all the porn you want, so you don't need Spank Vision from,
Wow. So
Take it off. Take it all off.
So Hyatt didn't
Yeah.
explain why
Well, that's
it
the reason.
made this decision. They said in-room programming choices are just one part of the guest experience. Hyatt is constantly evaluating. As part of that process, Hyatt has made the decision to stop offering adult entertainment video on demand.
They
at
weren't making any money anymore.
At any Hyatt hotel. That's not true. There is a reason. Of course they were making money
they
on
weren't
this.
making a lot of money on
All right, where'd you hear that?
Okay,
read it. Tell me.
Paragraph 6.
Yes.
Hospitality experts say that the decision to remove porn has been partly motivated by a steady drop in revenue from in-room entertainment throughout the industry as more guests turn to the internet to download movies, games, and video clips.
So it dropped
on their
from
laptop.
$339 per room to $107. But you're still making money.
It's not enough margin. I know the hotel business a little bit.
Hilton Worldwide has more than 731,000 rooms. Ooh.
You know, it's just like Playboy. What happened with Playboy? It's the same thing. They've gotten rid of all the nudity and.
Well, not yet.
You know that. Well,
because
most of it.
They have 2 more issues, and all these women are vying to be centerfolds one last time.
They want to be the last skank.
Well, Jenny
right?
McCarthy is publicly said that she wants in. Pamela Anderson wants in. There's a bunch of ladies that want to be on the last, full frontal nudity edition of Playboy magazine.
You're going to have desperate men digging up old Playboys featuring Marilyn Monroe and trying not to think that she would have been 89 years old now had she lived.
Do you ever read any articles in Playboy?
I read the Playboy Philosophy.
What's that?
And, Hefner wrote a 70-part opus about his philosophy of life, and nowhere in there was there any recognition of shame. But now apparently, Playboy's gotten modest in its dotage.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lex, CEO of Balance of Nature. At Balance of Nature, we believe in real communication. Whether you call into the office or hear a success story on the radio, you can be sure it's real, unsolicited, and unscripted conversation.
They're just awesome. I keep telling people because they keep asking me, what am I doing? I told them what I did with my cholesterol. I had the blood test, right? And it went down 100 points. 262, now it's 162. And then my bad cholesterol was 62, now it's 52. So, and then with my blood work, the doctor said, I don't know what you're doing, but everything is just perfect.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
Hi, Tom Sadeka, CEO of Precision Payroll of America. We're the 32-year-old company whose first employee and first client are still working together. If you are like me and are listening to this station, chances are we hold some common values and truths we hold self-evident. That's the main reason Precision Payroll attracts great clients and great employees. Precision Payroll of America operates at the core with fundamental principles that drive our attitude and delivery of service. We work hard to provide the best in pricing and value. In addition, with our great team that has been with us a long time, you are ensured a lasting relationship with people who understand your needs and always stand ready to serve. What sets us apart is that we view what we do as a great opportunity to serve others in a professional and technical capacity while building long-lasting relationships. That's what we treasure. If this message hits home, please call me at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507 or on the web at precisionpayroll.com.
And now, a moment of objectivism with your Ron Brook and the Ayn Rand Institute.
True love is selfless, we commonly hear, but philosopher and novelist Ayn Rand rejected that idea. A selfless love is a contradiction in terms. It would mean that you have no personal stake in the relationship. Instead, romantic love is profoundly selfish. It's a union of mind and body that both people pursue for their own happiness. Ayn Rand wrote that only a rational, selfish man, a man of self-esteem, is capable of love. That's because we love what we personally value, and love is profoundly demanding. To quote a famous line from Ayn Rand's novel The Fountainhead, to say I love you, one must first know how to say the I. You can learn more about Ayn Rand's thought-provoking perspective on love, sex, and human relationships at ARIradio.com. From the Ayn Rand Institute, I'm Yaron Brook.
This has been a moment of objectivism from the Ayn Rand Institute. To learn more, listen to the Yaron Brook Show, Saturdays at 4 on AM 560, and visit ARIradio.com.
Why are Ayn Rand's ideas so compelling? Her worldview, her philosophy, expressed dramatically in her novels Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead, embodies the ideals stated by the Founding Fathers in the Declaration of Independence and sets forth the requirements necessary to achieve a flourishing life. She called her philosophy objectivism and said it was a philosophy for living on Earth. Today, decades after her death, objectivism continues to stir debate and inspire passion for the spirit of individualism and the enduring American dream.
Here's some great news. Jack Taboda of Taboda & Associates can help you with your retirement game plan. You know Jack, or you should. Jack is the president and founder of Taboda & Associates. He's been helping folks just like you retire successfully for 3 decades. Jack has the insight, information, strategies, and experience you can use to build wealth and keep it. Live good. Retire well with Jack Taboda of Taboda & Associates. 630-777-7955. 630-777-7955.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Hillary's BFF goes to Washington to testify in front of the Benghazi Committee, and how the Kardashians may try and cash in on Lamar Odom. We'll explain. But first, let's go back into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce here are the stories we're watching. 2 Chicago police officers may be part of a sex trafficking investigation. Cook County clerk part of a federal probe. And a partly sunny day ahead. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony. He's right on Donald Trump's heels. Ben Carson's a close second in the Republican race and number 1 in something that matters even more right now. Fundraising. Fox News Radio's John Decker live at the White House.
According to his campaign, Ben Carson raised more than $20 million in the third quarter thanks to a rush of small dollar donations. Right behind in the money race is former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, who raised $13.4 million, and Texas Senator Ted Cruz took in $12.2 million in the last 3 months. Billionaire Donald Trump, the Republican fundraiser, raised just $3.9 million during the last quarter, but is not actively fundraising and is instead spending some of his own cash on the campaign trail. Dave?
John Carson and Donald Trump have threatened to boycott the next Republican debate October 28th, saying it's too long.
I think apparently they're worried about answering questions for 3 hours.
As their rival, Carly Fiorina. Trump says it's too long for the viewers, and he tweets this morning that CNBC has relented and the debate will be 2 hours. No comment from CNBC. It's happened yet again today. Palestinians on the attack around Jerusalem. More Fox News Radio's Jessica Gallagher is live.
Dave, a Palestinian man donning a yellow press vest and disguised as a news photographer stabbed and wounded an Israeli soldier in the West Bank city of Hebron. The assailant was shot dead. Overnight, Palestinians firebombed a site revered by some Jews as the Tomb of Joseph. The blaze was extinguished. Over the last month, more than 1,500 Palestinians have been injured in clashes with Israeli security forces. At least 31 Palestinians have been killed. Israel has identified 14 of them as attackers. At least 8 Israelis have been killed by Palestinians. Dave?
Jessica, parts of I-5 and other roads in Southern California remain closed. Cars buried under 5 feet of mud after heavy rain and flash floods.
Next thing you know, bulges are just coming down the mountain and we just can't see, and it was just really crazy.
This is Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
This morning, 43 degrees, 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. A man seriously hurt after being struck by a train on the south side. Police say the victim was found last night near 51st and Shields with part of his left leg severed. Taken to the hospital in serious condition, and that incident remains under investigation. There's a probe underway after police say a woman was sexually assaulted by a man on the west side. Authorities say the victim was attacked early yesterday, waiting at a bus stop near the United Center. 2 veteran Chicago police officers are relieved of their police powers while authorities determine if they were involved in the sex trafficking of a girl. The Tribune was first to report both have been reassigned to paid desk duty, and investigators are looking into whether the 20-year veterans played a role in the 14-year-old who was soliciting prostitution online. Officials are celebrating the completion of a new runway and tower at O'Hare. Mayor Emanuel was on hand.
This modernization of O'Hare, the modernization of Midway, continues to allow Chicago to be at the center of a global economy.
The airstrip unveiled yesterday along with that tower, part of a $9 billion overhaul of O'Hare. Former House Speaker Dennis Hastert is planning to plead guilty in a hush money case. His lawyers telling a federal judge yesterday a plea deal has been worked out. Hastert is expected to enter the guilty plea during a hearing scheduled for October 28. Cook County Clerk Dorothy Brown in hot water after a federal investigation of her husband has expanded to include her. The Sun-Times says agents have seized Brown's cell phone and subpoenaed some of her employees in their probe of Benton Cook III. Chicago sports, Capitals over the Blackhawks 4-1 last night. Cubs will take on the Mets in the NLCS, and Cubs shortstop Addison Russell will not play because of a strained left hamstring. The news service of Gerber Collision and Glass. With over 75 years' experience and a national lifetime warranty, it's no wonder Gerber is so highly recommended. Visit one of their nearly 60 Chicagoland locations or visit GerberCollision.com. 8:04 and a check of traffic and weather in just a moment. First, the WIND Business Beat from the Fox Business Network this morning. Here's Carol Zimmer.
From the Fox Business Network, U.S. stock futures are lower. Global stocks continue to rally as investors consider signs the Federal Reserve will hold off on raising interest rates this year. A bright light for General Electric today. The company reported better than expected revenue and profit in the third quarter. Some people who get Medicare could see their premiums rise as much as 52% next year. That group includes people who have never gotten Medicare before and high-income beneficiaries. Yesterday, Americans who receive Social Security found out there will be no cost of living increases in their benefits in 2016. And score one for Uber. The car-for-hire service has won a big court case in Britain. There are reports that the High Court has ruled Uber's smartphone app is legal. That means Uber can continue to operate in London. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Carol Zimmer.
It's 8:05 in Chicago. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The FICO score is not really even a good indication that you pay your debts back.
Dave Ramsey.
What it's an indication of is, do you love debt? And are you planning on staying in debt continually, forever? If you're running around trying to build your FICO score and you call that winning with money, you're stupid. Was I unclear? I hope not. Because you're not winning with money. That's the point.
It's the Dave Ramsey Show, tonight at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
I spend my days helping others. It's rewarding, just not always financially. So I got TIAA-CREF. They were founded to help people like me meet our financial goals. They've got so many industry accolades, it's unreal. I like taking care of people. Sometimes that even includes myself.
Intelligent investing for the long term. Just what you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA-CREF Individual and Institutional Services, LLC. This testimonial is an actor portrayal. Investing involves risk. Individual results will vary.
What do Fortune 500 companies do when they need to find new workspace? They call Regis and 1-800-OFFICES. With Regis, you can easily expand today and get your people up and running tomorrow. With fully furnished tech-powered co-working spaces, offices, and admin support, Regis manages the details so you can focus on your business. Short-term, long-term, all on your terms. Regis makes it easy and affordable. Call Regis now at 1-800-OFFICES and get a free office or meeting room for a day. Regis, here to help you grow.
8:06 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The inbound Edens has a traffic jam from 2-8 to the junction. It's 40 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 25. The Kennedy, an hour and 6 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 36 minutes from Montrose, 28. And the Express, outbound 31 minutes downtown to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower, an hour and 20 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound an hour and 4 minutes. Stop and go Central to 9th Avenue with a crash in the two left lanes. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound just 36 minutes. The Ryan, 50 minutes. 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, slow 95th to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams Tollway, stop and go from around Barrington Road to 53. Westbound heavy approaching Lee. Veterans Memorial, slow I-55 to the Reagan Tollway and Lake Street to 290. Northwest Indiana, all good. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
A freeze warning in effect from 11 p.m. this evening until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Today, partly sunny, breezy, and cooler with a high 52. Then it will be a freeze tonight with patchy clouds, low 31. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 43 and sunshine at O'Hare. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by American Embroidery and Screen Printing, now offering free artwork for new customers. Call 630-766-2825.
Good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Today, President Obama did an about-face on his previous pledge to bring home all but an embassy security force by the end of next year. Instead, he announced there will be at least 5,500 American troops in Afghanistan into 2017, beyond the end of his term in office.
I've decided to maintain our current posture of 9,800 troops in Afghanistan through most of next year, 2016.
Lawyers for Dennis Hastert told a federal judge in Chicago today that he has agreed to change his plea to guilty. The former speaker, now 73, was accused of evading federal banking rules and making payments of nearly $2 million in hush money to cover up past misconduct. He was also charged with lying to the FBI about it.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, yeah. Chicago Cubs, we know who our opponent is going to be. Your New York Mets.
No, our opponent is ourselves.
Oh, God. Bruce.
We're our own worst enemies.
Okay, Bruce Wolf. That voice
Steve
belongs
Bartman.
to Bruce Wolf, who is sitting in today for one Dan Proft. Thanks for coming in. Big weekend, too. Iowa plays Northwestern tomorrow, in case you care. If you want to take a break from baseball in the morning, the game's at 11 a.m.
It's going to be tough for
Ryan
Northwestern,
Field.
my alma mater, but they lost 38-0 to Michigan last week, and they're going to get their clocks cleaned.
Are you
by
kidding
Iowa.
me?
Probably.
It's
huh?
Iowa, Northwestern, at Northwestern. You never know what's
You
going to
went
happen.
to Iowa,
I
right?
know, and I'm supporting my team. We're 6-0 right now, vying to be 7-0.
No, I don't care. No, people who went to Northwestern are so arrogant and smug. That
What,
we,
are you
we don't
describing
even
yourself?
Yes, I am.
Did you see my boots?
Oh, you've got Iowa boots on
Yes,
right
I do.
now.
I
Yeah.
just tweeted out a picture to Guy Benson. I'm getting my Hawkeye on early today. But somebody else who's getting their game on is Uma Abedin. She's appearing today before the Benghazi committee, and her best friend, BFF Hillary Clinton, she's going to be in the hot seat next week. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. And to get all the details, here's our good friend Guy Benson from townhall.com, editor of townhall.com, and he has a show here on AM 560 every Sunday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Good morning, Guy. How are you? Hello, Guy Benson. Can we take him from in there? We're seeming to have problems with our...
Hey, guys.
Oh, hi, Guy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. First of all, I cannot allow a discussion of Northwestern football to pass without chiming in here, because I think you're tied 1-1. You're an Iowa grad. Bruce is a Northwestern grad. I'm also a Northwestern grad.
What year,
So
guy?
I'm gonna,
What year, guy?
class of 2007.
Oh, please, you're a baby. I don't want to hear anything.
Don't listen to him.
No.
But, Guy, we're going to win the game, right, Guy? Because you're a smart guy.
Well, I'm actually flying to Chicago tonight because it's homecoming, so I will be there tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Listen,
go Cats.
2007. What are you, 12, guy?
Bruce,
give or
stop
take.
it. He's just
Give or
jealous
take.
because you're younger and better
Well,
looking.
look, we're 5-1. Last week was really bad at Michigan. I think
shutouts are
tomorrow
bad.
tomorrow's tough but winnable. And look, we've got 3 really good wins under our belt. Iowa obviously 6-0 playing well. So major implications of the Western Division, the Big Ten. Hope to see a bunch of people wearing purple.
No, listen, I'm telling you right now, Iowa Hawkeyes, we travel well. It's
I
going to be
know.
all black and gold, baby.
I
That's
can't
all you're going to
support
see tomorrow.
Northwestern. The NLRB wouldn't let them unionize. I cannot support the Northwestern football team.
Well, first of all, the team itself, the team voted no on unionization by an overwhelming margin. So that was.
Yeah.
What's the question?
No, go ahead. That's
Bruce
fine.
is good at interrupting.
No,
Please finish
go ahead
your
and
sentence, Guy.
filibuster. 2007 grad.
Here's all I'm saying is I was opposed to unionization. So was the team, as it turns out. We put that behind us. 5-1 against an undefeated Iowa team on homecoming, and it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm always a little nervous because I'm a Northwestern fan.
I know.
But I think the defense is pretty solid this year, and they got to flush what happened last week.
All right, I have a tailgate you can go to. Well, we'll talk later. I'll let you know where it is.
Yeah, we have. You should come to our tailgate, Amy. It's going to be so much more fun.
All right, well, let's on to more pressing matters. Let's talk about Uma Abedin. She's going before the Benghazi committee It's too bad it's going to be a closed door session, but any idea what your sources are telling you what she might disclose to them?
Oh, I mean, so go under oath. So, I think that there are some significant things on the line for her. As you say, though, a closed session, all eyes are turning to next week and the open session for Hillary Clinton. Because I think, there are some of her very close aides, Cheryl Mills and Huma Abedin, who had access to the server, who had accounts through the server, who probably know some things, who are the very closest aides to Hillary Clinton. I think the committee's going to do its level best to wring information out of them. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to be asking her nonstop questions about the email server. They probably are going to be asking her actual questions about Benghazi, the actual scandal that started this whole thing. But I think what most people are interested in is what happens next week, because Hillary Clinton has tied herself in a number of knots, telling stories, spinning fables about her email server, and she's had to change her story multiple times because her previous explanations have been proven false. And, I am hopeful that the committee, in a respectful but forceful way, can actually hold her to account next week for the various things that she has said. And she'll be saying everything next week, of course, under oath, which adds a level of seriousness and implications if she continues to not tell the truth.
Now, yesterday she told a 9 News political reporter that the State Department allowed emails at the time and that nothing was sent or received was classified at the time. Isn't that, she's going back and forth. She's got to say something and stick with it.
Yeah, well, look, she keeps saying that this was all allowed. And that's just, I don't know where she comes up with that, because there is a Politico story that came out months and months ago now where it interviewed a lot of the relevant experts on these questions about, disclosure, transparency requirements, records keeping, and that sort of thing. And they determined that she violated, quote, clear-cut State Department policies. And then a federal judge named Emmett Sullivan, who was, by the way, appointed by Bill Clinton, also has ruled that she violated government policy. So she keeps saying it was allowed. My question is, by whom? You? Because all the experts and the federal judge say, no, it wasn't allowed.
Guy, you're October 12th. Don't you know, according to the senior senator from Vermont, we don't care about the damn emails anymore. Don't you know that, Guy?
Well, I did hear that from Bernie, and I thought it was interesting. Look, I had a theory, and I'm going to answer the second part of Amy's question in a second, but I think you bring up a great, interesting point, Bruce. I've had a theory watching the Democratic so-called competition for the nomination for a number of weeks now, which is that despite all of his excitement and his rallies and all of this stuff in the polling, Bernie Sanders doesn't actually have any intention of beating her. He has no intention of being the Democratic nominee. Really, no one on that stage does. And any confirmation we needed of my theory was provided in spades the other night, because they had multiple opportunities to really expose her on very serious vulnerabilities that she has and make a case against her, and they steadfastly refused to do it.
Guy, you're too much a political maven. You're smart, and you're smarter than I am, because you got into Northwestern and graduated in 2007. I got in when it was easy. They had let anybody in. But here's the thing. Bernie actually believes that the emails, I believe this, he actually believes that the emails don't matter, because Bernie's this ideologue who could not care less about what's going on in the rest of the world. He thinks it's all the billionaires and the bankers who are responsible for everything. He has this illusion about Denmark. He probably thinks you can still get a sex change in Denmark, or that's the only place you can get one.
Hang on. He also mentioned Sweden. No, but of course you're right. He's an ideologue who has a few very discrete issues about which he's very passionate, with a very left-wing worldview. And I think his goal in this campaign is to drag the party to the left, to have a big conversation about the issues that he cares about, and then to go home to Vermont. I don't think he wants to be president. He doesn't want to do what it takes. Look, here's the thing. It's not like he didn't just not attack her on the email stuff. He won't come after her on her obvious Wall Street corporatism. There's a whole series of things that should offend him about her, and he won't lift a finger to draw any attention to them. So I just don't think his heart is in it to win it. His heart is in it to emote and get his issues out there on the biggest possible platform.
Those were not. There is no serious candidate up there except for Hillary. Speaking of candidates, though, we're still waiting about Vice President Joe Biden. I'm hearing that he's going to wait until after the Benghazi hearing to decide whether or not to get into the race. What are your sources saying?
Well, look, they keep. I actually, believe it or not, I know a couple people who are close to the draft Biden effort. And the thing that has been strange to me is we keep hearing that he's just waiting for the next thing to decide, right? And he's been playing this game for a number of weeks. Oh, he's going to wait until this happens. Oh, he's going to wait until the debate. Oh, he's going to wait until the Benghazi hearing. At some point, especially after the debate we had this week out in Vegas, Joe Biden is going to wait too long. Hillary Clinton, I think, did a lot to help stabilize her candidacy and help herself on Tuesday night. And at some point, Biden, just from a blocking and tackling and fundraising political perspective, he's got to either get in or announce publicly that he's not, because people will grow tired of the sort of the Hamlet routine of sort of ambivalence. And I think that the window is really starting to close, which is not to say that it's closed. He still has a little bit of time. But, I'm not sure he can afford to wait all that much longer.
All right. Well, thank you. We've all waited long enough to see Hillary Clinton testify before the Benghazi committee, and that is going to be must watch TV. Thank you so much, Guy Benson, for joining us, and go Hawks.
And well, here's the thing. One thing I will never say about a Northwestern Iowa football outcome is, at this point, what difference does it make?
Thanks so much, Guy Benson. Guy Benson, editor of townhall.com, Northwestern fan. I won't hold that against you because he's a Northwestern grad. And you can hear the Guy Benson Show right here Sundays 7 to 9 p.m. Guy Benson joining us on our turnkey .pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Get over it. So he's younger than you and smarter than you, Bruce. It's okay. It happens.
I mean, he's way younger than I am.
And, okay, you're both witty, but you both went to Northwestern, and sorry.
Yeah.
Forecast for this weekend for the big Iowa Northwestern game. It's at 11 a.m. on Saturday. What do I have to wear?
Well, today it's going to be partly sunny, breezy and cooler, high of 52 tonight. Patchy clouds and cold. There will be a freeze, a low of 31 tomorrow. Sunshine but chilly, high of 49. Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy and warmer. Tuesday, the day of the Cubs' first home playoff game. Breezy and warm with times of clouds and sun, a high of 72. Low Tuesday night, 54. It's good baseball weather. Now for a check of traffic, here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Bruce. The inbound ride still very heavy after earlier crashes. It's 50 minutes from 95th to downtown. Outbound fine at 15. Eden's running 40 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. The big delay starts at 2E. Outbound, just a 5 or 6 minute delay from Foster to Dempster. Inbound Kennedy, an hour from O'Hare to downtown. Express lane save you about 8 minutes. Outbound, 30 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Eisenhower, about an hour and 15 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound an hour with a crash at 9th Avenue, now on the right side. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Northbound Tri-State, slow 95th to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams Tollway, stop and go Barrington Road to Meacham. Veterans Memorial from I-55 to Maple with a crash on the right shoulder. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com Traffic Center.
When you buy a new house, you don't buy the first one you see. When you sell your house, you don't choose the first real estate broker you hear about. You choose the agent backed by the most powerful brand in real estate, and that agent is Ed Lukasik Jr., owner of RE/MAX Professionals. Ed doesn't need to offer gimmicks like promising to buy your home because he can't sell it or 24-hour listing agreements. Ed does offer the promise of hard work and an aggressive, innovative marketing plan to sell your home. The most compelling reason to call RE/MAX Professionals is the best. Ed Lukasik Jr. has closed over 1,600 homes since 2008, giving him the knowledge and experience most agents can't obtain in their entire careers. The average real estate agent closes 7 homes a year. Ed sold over 229 just the past year alone. So make the right choice. Choose RE/MAX Professionals to list your home. Get an in-person market analysis straight from Ed. Call 630-679-5454. That's 630-679-5454. Sell your house with the professionals, RE/MAX Professionals.
Holiday parties come in all shapes and sizes. Elegant plated dinners, festive cocktail hours, casual buffets, themed events, and more.
Tasty Catering is already decked out with the holiday spirit, featuring a brand new holiday catering menu and a team of event planners who are eager to help you experience a successful party of any kind.
So much more than amazing holiday catering, Tasty Catering has been helping companies plan their entire holiday parties from start to finish for decades. Tasty Catering is a Chicago holiday tradition.
Your event can be exactly what you envisioned. All you need to do is visit tastycatering.com or call Tasty Catering at 847-593-2000 and tell them your event date.
A planner will ask you about your holiday party goals and then help you reach them as simply and stress-free as possible.
tastycatering.com. Start your holiday planning with a company that Chicago trusts. Tasty Catering, 847-593-2000.
Tasty Catering is a Chicago holiday tradition. 847-593-2000.
You've invested your heart and soul into your business, and the way you conduct yourself can have long-term effects on its success. The same goes for your business insurance. Your policy's coverage and reaction time when you have a loss can also have long-term effects on your business's success. Knowing the right amount of coverage and how to manage risk is what Heil & Heil Insurance Agency does best. At Heil & Heil, they provide you with a specialized commercial agent who can work with your business to keep it successful while minimizing risk. Let Heil & Heil find the best ways to protect it and reinvest the savings back into it. Call Heil & Heil Insurance today at 847-866-7400 for a free comprehensive evaluation of your business insurance. That's 847-866-7400 or visit them online, heilandheil.com.
Make sure your business is in the best position to succeed. Call Heil & Heil Insurance today, 847-866-7400 or visit heilandheil.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
312-642-5600 is the number. Let's try these phone lines. Let's go to Kevin, who joins us from Northfield. Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Amy, you doll. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you think I'm a doll. So what's your question?
I have been nominated by the Cognoscenti to ask the Wolof if, as a proxy for Dan Proft, if, as a believer in results, he is more interested in the candidacy of one Donald Trump.
I like Donald Trump. I don't know that I favor his candidacy. I like him for two reasons. One is the immigration problem. It is actually a problem. Is it as bad as everything? And then do I recognize that there's a certain amount of jingoism and xenophobia involved in some of the more far-flung Trump supporters? Yeah, but immigration is a problem. As Mark Stein was pointing out the other day, do you know that illegal immigrants actually have the vote? Because the Electoral College is based on population.
Right.
And so California, there's you can attribute at least 5 of the electoral votes to illegal immigrants, which is more than, one of those northeastern states has. So they actually do have the vote. And if you want to have a country and you want to have a culture, you've got to recognize that that's a problem. I mean, there's also problems with immigration because second-generation immigrants have a very high incarceration rate. But the other reason I like him is because he puts the media on its ear, including our own beloved Fox News, which is fine. And he dictates the terms. And I like that he's doing it. He just told CNBC, and he just tweeted this morning, no, you're not going to have a 3-hour debate. We're going to have a 2-hour debate.
Well, yeah,
he
threatened to boycott it, and he joined forces with Ben Carson, and they accomplished something. So he has proven to be a man who could get things done. Because if he wasn't on that debate stage for the third debate, ratings would be cut in half.
So and he's a spokesman for the silenced majority. And as a member of the silenced majority, because, this is like the third time I've worked in the last 9 months, I kind of like that he
have
gives
Twitter,
voice.
Bruce.
I do. And it's the latest thing. So I do like him. Are some of his views a little bit off? I'd like to educate him a little bit, maybe on eminent domain and other things. But I think he's coachable.
Yes. All right. Let's go to
Thank
Ted,
you.
who joins us from Joliet. Kevin, thanks for the phone call. Good morning, Ted. How are you?
Good morning. I'd like to see the committee ask Hillary how she paid the technician that set up her server.
Well, the person who set up her server was a former campaign flack of hers and actually started out as an intern, and she just paid him on the side to set up her server, and it's obviously a non-secured server because he didn't take any of the precautions to back it up. So
there's a thing called a nanny tax. If you pay somebody more than $1,400 that works in your home, you have to withhold taxes.
I don't know how much he paid for her, but I know that kid, that little snot-nosed kid, he pled the fifth. He's not going to be testifying.
So you want to get her like they got Al Capone on income taxes or
You
taxes? Okay.
can't claim the fifth to the IRS.
No, you can't. You absolutely can't. And I'd love the IRS to harass them the way they harassed the Tea Party types. That would be great. That would be their quid pro quo that I would accept. Very good call, Ted.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
It's easy to take your commercial HVAC system for granted. It's always there, keeping your building comfortably warm or cool. Until you have a system failure. With another unforgiving Chicago winter just around the corner, now's the time to have a comprehensive review of your mechanical HVAC system. And you don't want just anyone. You want Air Comfort, Chicagoland's leading mechanical professionals. For over 80 years, Air Comfort has delivered its customers the best trained and highly skilled team of award-winning technicians. That's why Air Comfort is recognized as Star Certified by the MSCA, a designation achieved by only 2% of contractors nationwide. With a service fleet of more than 80 fully equipped vehicles, chances are that an Air Comfort technician is nearby. Schedule your system check by calling now, 708-345-1900. That's 708-345-1900 or online at aircomfort.com.
We're just talking here. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer. Oh, this is a MyPillow library. Oh, see, Bruce.
Sure.
You're passing off your ADD onto me.
Yeah.
It's not like me. Hey, I want to say thank you to all of our listeners who have purchased thousands of MyPillows over the last 18 months and are enjoying the best sleep ever, but that still leaves thousands of you who haven't taken advantage of the buy one, get one free offer. What are you waiting for? It is so important to get a great night's sleep. So don't wait any longer. MyPillow helps with snoring, headaches, neck pain, insomnia, allergies. It's washable. It keeps its shape to give you support where you need it most. It's American made, and the owner of this company, he's a great man. My mom just had surgery. She forgot to bring her MyPillow to the hospital. Mike Lindell sent her a MyPillow to ease her pain. So thank you so much. It's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. For the MyPillow buy one, get one free offer, visit mypillow.com. Type Amy in the promo code or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
AM 560, The Answer.
Now coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, ticket prices soar as 1 million are on a wait list for NLCS games here in Chicago.
That's impossible.
Oh, yeah. What, you think
a million people on a waiting list?
Oh, yeah. And it's growing by the minute. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good Friday morning to our very good friend, Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. Partly sunny and 43 degrees. 50 have been killed by bombs in the past few hours in Nigeria. 4 women suicide bombers blew themselves up early today when challenged by soldiers. At that point, they killed 18. Hours earlier, bombs went off near a mosque, killing 30. Fighting in Syria, especially intense in the central Homs province today, with a fresh offensive announced in northern Aleppo. Government troops are being backed by Russian airstrikes. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is rejecting claims his country is using excessive force to deal with violent outbursts by Palestinians.
All the lies that are said about us trying to bring down the mosque or change the status quo, they cite that as the reason for their activity. And you can't fit a false template on reality.
Netanyahu holding a news briefing saying Israel's doing what any country would do while under attack. The Justice Department widening its net in an effort to fight cyber crime. For the first time, a State Department-funded legal advisor is stationed in Malaysia to help ensure that Southeast Asian countries have the laws and tools to fight hackers. Emergency crews in California working overnight to clear up 2 highways closed by mud and debris and boulders from flash flooding brought on by huge downpours across a wide swath of northern L.A. County. Here in Chicago, a man seriously hurt after being struck by a train on the south side. The victim found last night near 51st and Shields. An investigation is underway after police say a woman was sexually assaulted by a man on the west side. Authorities say the victim was attacked yesterday while waiting at a bus stop near the United Center. Former Chicago Public Schools CEO Barbara Byrd Bennett could be facing more legal issues, this time in Detroit, where public school officials confirm her work in that district is under investigation. Chicago sports. Cubs shortstop Addison Russell will not play in the NLCS against the Mets because of a strained hamstring. Skipper Joe Madden says John Lester will start the series opener on Saturday night. Last night, Washington bested the Blackhawks 4-1. 8:33 is our time, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher wants the left to get real about guns.
Because we know that the shooter in Oregon would have absolutely obeyed the no concealed weapons permit law on campus at Umpqua Community College, right? Of course he would have. He was a good guy. He was just misunderstood. Bunch of damn fools. These people on the left aren't willing to have a serious conversation about guns.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer is a must-have for all busy parents. With just one scan to the forehead, Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer takes your child's temperature quickly and accurately. Available at Walgreens.
This is Michelle DeVal from DeVal Jewelers. Dennis and I want you to know that when you sell your diamonds, gold, silver, platinum, and estate jewelry to us, we will strive to give you the highest cash payment possible.
And all transactions are strictly confidential. There's absolutely no pressure. And like Michelle said, we can pay you 50% more by eliminating the middleman. Why? Because we are direct buyers.
We buy certified diamonds and engagement rings, 1/2 carat and above, broken and used gold jewelry, estate jewelry, gold and silver coins, and more. We really do understand the sentimental value and pledge to be considerate, knowledgeable, and private.
We have been Chicagoland's family jeweler for over 100 years. We take pride in having the perfect jewelry selection for every budget and taste preference.
We're just south of the Kennedy on Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights. Call us at 708-867-8200. That's 708-867-8200 or visit DAVALLE.com.
DeVal Jewelers, more bling
and less sting.
8:35 is our time in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. I-80 eastbound. There's a crash reported around 30. No word yet on any possible lane blockage. The inbound Edens Expressway has heavy delays from Toohey to the junction. 40 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound fine at 19. Inbound Kennedy delays start at Nagel. 51 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 30. The Eisenhower. An hour and 17 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. An hour and 3 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 52 minutes to Thorndale with a crash at 9th Avenue on the right side. Inbound Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 36 minutes. The Ryan, 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive southbound slow Lawrence to Fullerton. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State. Scattered delays Archer to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Adams Tollway slow Barrington to Meacham. Veterans Memorial from I-55 to Maple. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solutions provider. Partly sunny, breezy, and cooler today, high 52. And a hard freeze, especially in the western suburbs overnight, a low of 31. 43 at O'Hare, 47 along the lake. Next news at 9. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Bruce Wolf sitting in for Dan on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Heroes Talk Radio. Learn the secrets to planning a tax-free retirement income by listening to Heroes Talk Radio Saturday afternoons at 5.
Hey, don't be caught without the facts. Listen to me, Sean Hannity, this afternoon at 2, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Sing it, Bruce. Come on.
Go, Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win.
We're your jazz hands. Oh, my gosh, Bruce. In case you've been sleeping underneath a rock, you should know that the Chicago Cubs will be taking on the New York Mets for a best-of-7 game series, the NLCS, the push for the pennant. And, of course, it is the hottest ticket in town. The two first games are away games.
I mean, sheer madness at the Blackstone is no longer the hottest ticket in town?
Saturday and Sunday in, what do they call the new Shea Stadium?
They call it the Citi Field.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. And I know your son lives right by there because you have a connection to everything.
Absolutely.
Enough about me. What do you
I
think
had
of
an
me?
LA connection as well.
Yeah, of course you did.
Another kid
Of
lived
course
there.
you're Bruce Wolf.
Right. Even though I'm not going to go to any of the games.
No, because you're a Sox fan. First two games there. The Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here at Wrigley Field.
By the
home
way, I
games.
do hope they win. I want them to win the World Series because I love Cub fans.
Uh-huh.
And I think they've suffered enough. I want the spirit of Mike Royko to rest.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the man who knows about ticket prices and all things tickets for the Cubs is Steve Bazile. He is the owner and president, and now he's CEO of SitClose.com tickets. Good morning, Steve. Are you there?
Good morning. Yeah, thank you. How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I bet you're
Wonderful,
busy
wonderful.
lately. So the we found out that the Mets beat the Dodgers in Game 5, 3-2. Did your phone light up? Are more people jonesing to go to that series, or it doesn't really matter who we played? People want to go.
No, I actually was hoping, number one, that we get the Mets. Geographically, it's better. I got a lot of customers that are going to fly up, go to New York, and I got some my Chicago businesses have a lot of New York connections, so we got people coming the other way as well. So it worked out pretty good from my standpoint.
So Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, how much are tickets going for? And does it really depend? Will the ticket prices fall, say, if they lose one or two games in New York?
Well, yeah, right now the market is basically about 500 to about 2,500, and it's been pretty steady the last 3-4 days like that. If they do lose a couple games, I'd be very surprised. First of all, I think it's going to be a very competitive series. I see the market pricing, though, coming down probably starting Monday. And the reason I say that, I think there's a lot of people that have already bought and made their plans. So there's going to be more supply in the marketplace, which I think will bring the market pricing down.
So should I wait? When's the optimum time to, like 10 minutes before game time when, some fat cat is trying to get rid of the tickets, and then I don't even know whether they're
probably
fraudulent or not,
counterfeit.
or whatever. I mean, when's the optimal time, if I wanted to get the best bargain to buy tickets?
2-3 hours before a game.
Really?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So let's say it's $2,500. You're saying it's $2,500 for to sit with Larry King or what? Oh, he's not going to be there. Right behind home plate with Rom. I
think
want
those
Rom to
go
sit
for
in my lap.
$8,000.
Oh, how much are they going for? I thought you said $2,500. What's the top ticket going for?
No, the real market, the top of the market is $2,500. The meat of the potatoes, the meat of the trades are somewhere between $1,300, $1,900 is where a lot of the better seats are trading at.
Okay, so 3
What's the
hours
most
before game, 3 hours before game time. I want what's going for $2,500 right now. How much am I going to get a ticket for?
You'll pay. You'll pay instead of $2,500. $2,000. You'll pay $1,300, $1,000.
Okay.
In that neighborhood. So it'll come down.
And if I wanted to buy some and then flip those tickets, and sell them again.
Not going to happen.
It's for the tertiary market. What would I do? When do I buy and when do I flip them? And that's illegal, right?
It is. You have to be licensed, bonded, and all that other nonsense.
Yeah, and forget about that. Hypothetically speaking, if I were, a criminal.
Hey,
what would
Steve, before we let you go, I want to recently.
You guys ought to get your act together here.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, Dad. Tony taxes. Recently, a few days ago, Tony Preckwinkle, Cook County Board President, said she's going to start taxing you guys. What's your reaction?
No, we're already taxed. There is an amusement tax.
Right, but she wants a new resale ticket tax for sports people like yourself who sell sports tickets.
Well, you know what? The city could use it. What can I say? If everybody, has to pay it, then it's a level playing field, and, I'll go along with the program. But, again, who wants to pay more taxes?
Not me.
Not me either.
Thanks, Steve Bazile. You are SitClose.com. Again, that's SitClose.com. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks. And he joined us on our
Bye now.
Turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
So often on the show, we talk. You want the traffic?
Yes. I would like, you know what I'd like first, though? The weather forecast for this weekend and for next week.
Should I do the weather forecast backwards?
No.
I mean Tuesday, the day of the game. I'm going to pay $1,900 for a ticket and then flip it for $2,100. It's going to be breezy and warm on Tuesday with times of cloud and sun, a high of 72, low Tuesday night of 54. That's good baseball weather. Now let's go back to the beginning. Today it's going to be partly sunny, breezy and cooler, a high of 52 tonight. Patchy clouds and cold. There will be a freeze, a low of 31. Tomorrow, sunshine but chilly, high of 49. Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy and warmer, high of 58. And now let's have a check of traffic with Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Bruce. At Amy Eden's inbound still jammed. Toohey to the junction. It's 40 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose. Outbound fine at 19. The Eden should start to loosen up as the Kennedy improves. With delays starting at Nagle, the Kennedy now down to 51 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. And the express lanes will knock about 5 minutes off that. Outbound 30 minutes downtown to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 17 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, an hour and 3 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 45 minutes to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound all clear. Ryan, 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound, stop and go from the Adams Tollway to near the O'Hare Oasis. There's a crash there. Got the left lane closed. Northbound slow from the Stevenson to 31st, and then heavy around 290. I'm Jim Talamonte, ChicagoRadioDeals.com, Traffic Center.
So often on this show, we talk about the important issues that affect your world, things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. And on this show, because there's always so much going on, we don't always have the time to drill down and talk about the big ideas behind the big issues. That's one of the reasons Dan is involved with a new website, along with the Illinois Policy Institute, called Upstream Ideas, online at upstream-ideas.com. At Upstream Ideas, you'll find information that will inform some of the policy discussions that we're having here on this show and elsewhere at Upstream Ideas. We want to broaden the parameters of debate and move beyond the same old partisan assumptions. We want to challenge accepted orthodoxies, and we debunk some of the faulty premises that inform the rules on which our free society is based. In other words, we're pushing against the current and thinking upstream. We'll ask, why are conditions the way they are, and how can those conditions be improved? Go online now to upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. With each visit to Upstream Ideas, you'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to spur you on to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit more free, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized.
You are a sign business, you want to grow, and you want to make more money. So do I. I want to partner with you. This is Dave Carlson, and my sign company is Franco Carlson & Company. We've been doing business in Chicago since 1894. With millions of dollars of state-of-the-art equipment, we can do any job. Trade shows, bus and vehicle wraps, banners for special events, even custom wallpaper. We can help you expand your sign business. If there is an order, any order, or a piece of business that you don't have the capabilities to do yourself, we can do it with you. You don't have to turn away any sign or print business any longer. Speed and quality to meet your deadlines. You have my word on that. Expand your sign business. Take any order. Make more money. Become a partner with Franco Carlson & Company. Contact me for a quote or stop by for a tour of our shop. Franco Carlson & Company. We are the sign company's partner.
Call Franco Carlson & Company at 773-847-6900. 773-847-6900.
My name is Dr. Howard. I've recommended Balance of Nature for over 15 years because of the excellent results I see in my patients. Balance of Nature doesn't make any claims of treating or curing any particular disease, but I think the results speak for themselves.
It's a great product. The years I was on it for like about 3 years before, and I noticed I was not sick at all. And the couple of months that I was off of it, I ended up having a cold, and I haven't had a cold in like all the years that I was on it before. So I'm back on it again, and I don't intend to get off of it again because I've seen the proof in the pudding, you know.
When you can give your body a full variety of 31 different fruits and vegetables in their 100% natural, whole food form, you receive the unmatched balance of nutrition. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Well, if only you could hear what we're talking about during the commercial breaks. Amy Jacobson here, Bruce Wolf sitting in for Dan Proft. Thanks so much for coming in. And I know that you used to do sports, and a lot of people are praying for Lamar Odom. I mean, clearly he's been battling some demons his whole life. I mean, when he was 12 years old, his mom died. His dad was a heroin addict. he's had problems with drug addiction his whole life. We learned yesterday that he took 10 of those sexual enhancement pills, but each one would last 72 hours. So he took the equivalent of 1 month of sexual enhancement drugs in.
I've seen the disclaimers on the commercials, and I do
In a
say
few
that if an
days.
erection lasts more than 100 hours, you should. I shouldn't be joking about
No,
it.
we
It's not,
should,
it's not like
but
a
it's-
Bulls player, you know.
No. Thank you. So we found out yesterday the women that he hired for his, unopened, stay at the Love Ranch, their names were Monroe and Cherry. And basically what he did, all the ladies lined up and he picked those two out of the lineup and paid them handsomely for their time. But they cooked for him. It wasn't all about sex. It was, they cooked from one night. He told them to just, I want to be alone. So he just had them on standby 24/7. So they just had to be in his beck and call, whether he wanted to dance for him, maybe get him a drink, cook him breakfast, cook him dinner. That's what they did. And so on Monday night, he told him, I just want to be alone. And that's when in the morning, they woke up and found him frothing at the mouth and unresponsive.
911, where's your emergency?
We need an ambulance. I need to hurry, please, because he's got blood coming out of his nose, white stuff coming out of his mouth. They can't get him to wake up. He's like almost not breathing.
And it's so.
Was that Ryder Cherry or Monica Monroe? These are the two.
That
women.
was Monroe.
Those are their Christian names, by the way. Monica Monroe and Ryder Cherry.
Oh, really? Ryder Cherry?
Ryder and Monica
Okay,
Monroe.
gross. Family showbers.
Is that Marilyn's great-great-great-granddaughter?
Sure it is.
Sure.
Sure it is. But obviously, because this has happened, those two are in high demand because of this. Everybody wants to spend time
But I would
with
hope
them.
that proceeds would go towards the Viagra Institute.
We can stop. This is serious. So Lamar Odom on life support. He's breathing with help of a respirator. There's kidney failure, according to E! News. I mean, I've been following this. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this story. It just seems so
Yes,
strange.
it
to me.
says more about you than about him.
And the person who's going to have
Yes.
to make all the medical decisions about him and decide whether or not to take him off life support is Khloe Kardashian, because their divorce was never finalized. But here's the thing. The Kardashians, they have a reality TV show. And I thought yesterday, gosh, how perfectly does this fit their narrative for their reality TV
You're so
show?
cynical. Don't they actually
Oh,
care
look.
about people?
I don't know. I'm asking them to step up and be the bigger person here and not exploit this on their reality TV show. Do you think that's even humanly possible for them to do that? For them to take the high road and not use this
I would
as a segment or a few segments on their reality TV
I,
show?
for one, would like to see Caitlyn come in there and hold his hand.
Well,
yeah.
she has, they're all friends. They really love Lamar Odom. I mean, he was part of their lives for
See, I get them
4+
confused. I
years.
mean, wasn't there another basketball player who's involved in this? I don't
that
follow
was
the Kardashians
Kim
that much.
Kardashian. I think Chris Humphries?
Yes.
Oh, I don't
Yes, Chris
remember.
Humphries. Yes,
okay.
you're right.
312-642-5600. We have Tom on the line from Kankakee to tell us a little bit about brothels. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Hey, Wolfie and Amy. Hey, if the Cubs can win the pennant, then Wolfie can come back full time somewhere, some way, somehow.
You believe in miracles. Yes. Okay, I get it.
This is Trucker Tom. I believe in miracles, Wolfie. You know that.
Sure, absolutely.
Hey, Wolfie, if you won't degrade me in here or throw me on the third rail, I used to spend some time in Nevada, in Pahrump, on the other side of the Blue Diamond Mountain, and I got to know several of the girls. And a lot of the customers that come in there either don't engage with the women in a physical manner, or they not only engage, but they severely want the companionship. And that was for some of the ladies. This
That is
particular one
so
I went
sad.
to.
Tom,
The one I went to, like, you could drink with the girls. You could have beer at a public bar and speak with the girls and have the companionship there. But if you wanted to continue it, you could purchase the services.
Well,
and
thank
it's
you so
important.
much, Tom.
Amy, it's important to have this so men can go somewhere safe and take care of themselves, because there's a lot of sick guys out here.
Okay, well,
Thank you,
thanks.
Tom, and that's a
Thanks,
sad
Tom.
story.
No, but it's true. At Lamar Odom, they said that he was a very shy guy. Here's Robert Hunter, who works at the Love Ranch.
Read the milligram.
Let me hear
I'll
this.
say this about Lamar. I think a lot of times when you think, multi-day bender or whatever, you're imagining some sort of screaming, wild, running up and down the halls kind of erratic behavior. Nothing could have been further from the truth with this guy. He was shy, he was reserved, he was polite, but he clearly and ironically in this situation was valuing his privacy. I mean, he was leaving, he arrived alone. He didn't want anyone to know where he was.
Yeah, and he apparently paid $10,000 for the suite there at the
for conversation.
Love Ranch.
That's
no,
a lot
he
to pay
did.
for
I mean, and the
conversation.
girls said that he was a generous guy and that he was polite and he was reserved, and they just wished that they would have found him sooner, but they let him sleep 9 hours, and they went in to wake him up, and he was unresponsive.
So why are you obsessed with this story, Amy?
Because I want to. If the Kardashians turn this into a segment on the reality TV show, I'm going to lose my marbles. It's not fair to exploit him. I mean, he's had enough pain in his life. Just let him die with some dignity. Is that too much to ask for?
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, folks. Joe Walsh here. I recently visited Precision Payroll of America in Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois. I'll tell you, I've been hearing Tom's ads for years, and to meet his team and spend a little time with them, I realized why their clients and employees stay together so long. I also didn't realize what great services they offer. Payroll processing, tax filing, time and attendance, and human resource consulting. Boy, we could all use help there with all these new and yet to be introduced regulations from healthcare to full-time equivalency. Precision Payroll of America has the right services and the right approach to help companies navigate these crazy times. For a service provider you can relate to and will look out for your best interests, call Tom at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Also, visit precisionpayroll.com, but then pick up the phone and call Tom. He is sure to deliver great value and even better service.
Can you recognize the signs of foundation problems? Many homeowners are experiencing the symptoms of foundation issues. I've noticed that the doors and windows don't longer shut properly in my home. There's cracks on the drywall and exterior brickwork. Yeah, my floors are uneven, so these are indicators that there's sign of damage to your home's foundation. Why fix the problem? Because it will only get worse, and the longer you wait, the more costly it will be. Why choose Permaseal? Because it's free. That's right, the inspection. Their consultants have been trained and certified by the manufacturer to evaluate your foundation and offer you a permanent, customized solution absolutely free of charge. I have the Permaseal guys coming to my house on Monday to check out my foundation. For over 36 years now, Permaseal's mission has been to provide you with superior customer experience at the greatest value. So call Permaseal today like I did. 800-421-SEAL. That's S-E-A-L. When the work is done, you'll have a transferable warranty and the peace of mind you deserve. That's 800-421-SEAL or visit Permaseal.net. Permaseal.net. Permaseal, truly known best for being better.
Have you been getting the runaround on a mortgage modification application underwater with your mortgage? Well, you'd be not alone. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of other people in the same boat with you. My name's Lou Bridges. My partner Scott O and I put together a law firm. One of the things we do is help people with modifications, only we don't just submit an application. Through proprietary software that we have access to, we determine what program or programs your loan is eligible
This is
for,
nothing
and what it would take to qualify you for those programs under the regulations. We work with our team of people, paralegals and clerks, and we put together everything, and then we submit the application for modification to the servicing bank. Only then we're not asking them, we're telling them this is the modification program our client has chosen from among those that we have confirmed they qualify for, their loan is eligible for under the regulations that you will give. And you must give because the net present value is far greater for the owner of the mortgage. So servicer, thank you for the modification. No more runarounds. Give us a call. We'll give you a free consultation.
224-513-1231.
For more than 40 years, Steel has built outdoor power equipment here in America and sold its products to professionals and homeowners through servicing Steel dealers. Built in America, believing in America. That's Steel Strong.
Steel strong, running grow #1. Steel strong, yeah, I'm feeling.
A majority of Steel products are built in the United States from domestic and foreign parts and components.
Steel strong.
Find a dealer near you at steeldealers.com.
Turbo engines rule the road these days. Sure, they're cool, but they run hot.
Take the piston skirt. It can reach over 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Burning your cherry pie is one thing, but your cherry red coupe? That's why Pennzoil synthetic motor oils are designed to protect your engine, even in extreme temperatures. So fire up your turbo and protect it at the same time.
Purchase qualifying Pennzoil products and save up to $24 with a mail-in rebate. Offer ends November 30th, 2015. See Pennzoil.com for participating retailers and details.
AM 560, The Answer.
You know what that means? It's closing time for the show. Oh, boy. Championship Series begins. Cubs versus the Mets in New York, 7 o'clock. And with that, we're going to end with a song. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, boy. I don't know if we should do this.
I don't know the words.
Well, you're going to learn the words.
Okay.
Ready? Go. Don't mumble. Read the script, Bruce. I printed the words for you.
Where are they?
The Cubs are gonna win Saturday.
Yeah, everybody.
Go Cubs, go!
Go Cubs, go!
What do you say?
Cubs are gonna win. Go Cubs, go!
I'm a Sox fan, but I want the Cubs to win because the fans, you know.
Well, I can't get those.
I feel bad for the fans.
Oh,
you know,
I can't get those moments
living
of my
and
life
dead.
back. Thank you so much, David Stripling, the technical director, Cesar Perez, the CP, the EP.
Shake and bake.
And thank you so much for all of you who suffered through this show this morning. We appreciate it. Okay, bye.
Just for that, I'm rooting for the American League. Thank you very much and good night.
Well, let's say hello again to Mike Scott.
WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.
I'm Dave Anthony. It's yet another violent day around Jerusalem. Palestinians on the attack.